Hallelujah.
Get up right now.
I'm hearing something real powerful for someone.
And now listen to this.
Said that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah. This is what you do. Something more than it was. Yes. Listen to this right here.
I heard then, it was like the Lord spoke that through me then. Oh, there it is. Get up right now.
There it is again. Said that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah. This is what you do. Something more than it was.
I like that, don't you?
Get up right now.
There it is again, so strong.
Oh, yes.
Said that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah. This is what you do. Something more than it was. Amen.
Hello, chat. Oh, hold on. There you go. Now you can talk.
Hi, chat. I hope you're all having a good day.
Oh man, hello everybody. I hope you guys are having a good, what day is it today? Is it Friday? It is Friday, okay. Chat, I'm kind of like, I kind of forgot what day it was. Couple problems in my life right now. So, it's Friday? Okay, good. See, today is payday, so I probably should have remembered that I, woke up and got a paycheck. But, because last night, we streamed Cancer, that was problem number one. Problem number two, I only got to sleep for 3.5 hours, which I don't recommend anybody sleeps for that little amount of time because, especially when you work on an assembly, that's kind of dangerous. Thankfully, the other problem, which was that the project we were finishing was done today, so I didn't have to worry about heavy lifting of any kind. And so because of that, the next issue was I went to lunch because we were told, oh, you'll probably get off at 4:30. We'll only work 10 hours today because the project is almost done. There's no reason to keep everybody here if the work is not going around. So I was like, okay, I'm expecting to stay till 4:30. So I go to lunch after filling out a report because I think I pulled a muscle the other day while doing something at work, and then I go to lunch. I come back to lunch and my lead sees me sitting at my desk and he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, what do you mean what I'm doing here? We still have 4 more hours to go. And he's like, no, I let everybody else go home because we're done. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, I told everybody like 11:55 before lunch started to just go home. And I was like, what? I did not know this. This was not communicated. Oh fuck. So what basically happened is I went to lunch, I came back, and then 20 minutes later I went home. And so after I got home, oh man, because I only sleep for 3 hours, I was extremely tired. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna get some rest, and I'm gonna record a video. I slept for like 3 to 4 hours. Which, you know, I probably needed. Oh, I definitely needed it though. And every time I woke up during those 3 to 4 hours, I was like, okay, I had a nap, I'm gonna be up now. Let's use the restroom and sit down and record. And I would be instinctively like, well, let's just sit down on the bed for a moment. And then I would fall over and go back to bed. All this to say, I was extremely tired today, chat. We're gonna recover that tomorrow and over the next couple days because I have a 3-day weekend because it is Labor Day in America. I'm actually kind of curious. I've never really known what Labor Day. Hold on, let me. I'm pretty sure I know what Labor Day actually means, but I would just like to read it. Okay. Labor Day, we celebrate the dignity of America's workers and the labor unions they have built. Oh, we can get rid of Labor Day then. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't care about unions, so let's just get rid of Labor Day.
It means like workers and stuff.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But like it's a celebration day for all of the hard workers of America. We don't care about anybody outside of America. We just care about ourselves.
Yes.
Labor Day is commie gobbledygook? I don't know. I think I'm happy to just get an extra day off, you know? So it's one of those days, like with multiple other holidays in America, where if it could fall on a Sunday, they put it on a Monday, so all of the workers, both government and regular, get a Sunday and a Monday off. Normally we work 6 days a week in my job, so I was expecting to come in tomorrow, but they're like, oh, we might not come in today. And I was like, okay. And before I left today, I was like, boss, do I come in tomorrow? He's like, no, come back on Tuesday. And what's kind of funny is I work in a majority Latino warehouse where most people don't know how to speak English very well. And as a Italian mutt, I don't know any Spanish. So my boss, even though he knows English, it's broken enough where it's just like, no, you go home. I was like, okay, I go home. Oh, it's kind of funny because he kind of avoids me because, again, he speaks broken English. And I'm like, I kind of feel bad because it's just like, I do want to learn Spanish because it's kind of helpful to learn another language when you're an entertainer. But I just feel bad because he feels like he has, I don't know why he does, but he just like avoids me.
I don't believe in learning other languages. I'm American.
You're American.
American is the only language.
There we go. Days off, people have those? Yes. No, so chat, just to put it into perspective, ever since I started this job, which I like, I don't want to say I don't like my job. I actually do like my job because it's paying me twice as much as my old job. All I have to do is sacrifice an additional 20 hours a week, which sucks, but I kind of need to. So I'm grateful for the job. I'm still just getting used to it. And whenever I get more than one day off, I'm going to fucking take it and enjoy it. So getting 3 days off because 1, we finished a project, and 2, we've got Labor Day. I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna use it. I have the boomstick. I speak now. Oh fuck. So that's how my day went. Just eternally tired. And how is Mizu's day gone?
Mizu's day was average, and then it started pouring rain.
Yes. Started pouring rain for you. Did you go to work today?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know you said you weren't feeling the best.
Well, yeah, but I never take a day off.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because I'm not a communist.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Day off hype? Yes. Am I playing
Unlike
animals?
stupid Twitter people.
Oof. I mean, occasionally if I'm like throwing up or unable to actually move, I probably will. But that's like the last resort. You know what I mean? I imagine if you were throwing up, you probably wouldn't go to work.
That's an interesting twist.
But, anyway. I'm a truck driver rolling 7 days a week, only a couple days a month I'm not driving. Oh yeah, I get that. See, chat, I thought about becoming a truck driver, but the other part of me is like, I don't feel like I'd be so lucky to get a job like Ryan, where Ryan just gets to have a few days off and he doesn't actually leave where he lives. I know that I would not get that lucky. But like, I don't know. I will take the job I have because even though I work on an assembly, my part of the assembly is actually decently easy. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Am I playing Animal Crossing because even wild animals have more moral compass than people in Nijisanji? No. I am playing Animal Crossing because I actually really enjoyed this game and I've wanted to play it again for a long time.
I had the best meme about Nijisanji.
Yes. I will make sure to show it on camera because you did it. You have a funny meme. I gotta actually like pull up the original here.
The Nijisanji casting couch.
Oh gosh, we're gonna have an interesting conversation tonight, I feel, when it comes to that. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Nijisanji can't stop taking L's. I don't know what it is. Unironically, I don't understand how a company can sink this far. I don't think I've seen any company like burn themselves multiple times this much. Unironically, I just don't get it.
They're a black company.
Well, yeah, they are a black company. I just like, I observe that they get into it. It's kind of like with us every single week when we cover drama. It's almost like whenever you think that there's nothing to look at, Nijisanji decides to get up on stage and flip you off and start dancing. So, now granted, this isn't something that they necessarily reported. This was reported by, I believe, another VTuber that just reports things. The Core 19 account. They have quite a lot of following and influence in Japan, I believe. I don't know very much about them. I just know that they are a VTuber. So I would like to know more about them if there's a way to know more about them. But I just know that here we'll switch over now, chat. We'll get to the tab portion now. They reported something that again this is something that you see in Hollywood. And I was very bizarrely taken aback from it. Oh, really quickly, before we get into the serious stuff, I'm just gonna push it to the side for a moment. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. We just hit 8,100, I believe. We just hit 8,100 on the channel. Thank you very much. We're running all the way to 10,000, and I appreciate all of you. But make sure you like the stream, chat. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. I know that I liked Captain Sparkles because he was like, "Can we get 50 likes on this video?" And he had millions of subs, so he always joked about the number. But if you could like the stream, I would deeply appreciate it. Okay.
Like, comment, and subscribe, chat.
Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. Dear gosh, casting couch. Here, chat. We're just gonna bring up the meme immediately. Oh, wrong meme. That is the Medicare meme here. Let me just bring this up right now. So, chat, we do have a casting couch situation. A lot of people have tried to figure out who the VTuber in question is. Let me stream my screen so you can see it. Multiple people have been trying to figure out the individuals in question because, and I do believe that Korkor censored the pictures that they got access to. So they probably know, but we're trying to figure out who the individual on the casting couch is. We don't know for sure. I don't think we'll ever really know for sure. But I don't know, chat. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. And even though I like to keep everybody's privacy, I feel like with this VTuber we could kind of speculate about who this necessarily is. When the casting is a couch, yes. In all seriousness, though. And by the way, this is translated by Google. Time to pour a drink. Yes, pour a drink if you have one, because this is going to be crazy. Just a little bit crazy. So Korkor says we will report violations committed by those involved with the VTuber agency Nijisanji. The damage mainly involves secretly recording the VTubers who operate while hiding their faces while they're at work and disseminating the footage to third parties. He also sends her messages making fun of her appearance. I'm assuming they're talking about the individual in question that did this. The mere existence of people like this in the industry will only increase the number of victims, and since the VTuber herself is unaware that she is being secretly filmed, at the whistleblower's request, the footage will be made public on a live broadcast at 10:30 p.m. on Sunday, September 1st. Oh, this is insane. So, what Korkor is saying is there is an individual working in Nijisanji that is recording the VTubers in question working at the company. I'm assuming that this is people that come into the office to do stuff at the office. Because when you're in a corpo, like Hololive or Niji, you've got enough fuck you money to make entire office spaces for them to come into to do work. And this will be for things like 3D shows where they all need a big space for 3D, because being in 3D is actually very tiring, especially if you're using a VR headset to make it all work for you. So when you have big money like that, it is more often than not you've got people that will probably come in to actively do work, and this is something being reported. I'm very grateful that this person has decided to obscure the information of these people. I'm very, very interested to see how Niji will respond to this, if they will respond to it at all. One of the things I feel like they do sometimes is just not talk. And while I hate it when somebody doesn't say anything, because it does seem like a coward's way out, that is literally the best solution. Not talking. whenever there's drama, I've always been told just to not say anything. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I almost dropped my phone. So they probably won't say anything. If they've said something already, please tell me. But this is pretty insane, man. Like, I know that there's gonna be a creep in every single company. That's just due to the fact that there's a lot of people that work for these companies. But the fact that you've got somebody doing this, it's absolutely insane.
There's a creep at every single company, but for some reason 90% of them are at yours.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna explain it just in case people are watching this for the first time. Like, if you're breaking into the VTuber scene and this is somehow the first thing that you're deciding to watch, let me explain why this is a bit of a problem here. When it comes to VTubers, unless you're like the okay, I'm not gonna call them all whores, but unless you're like the ones that like to be thoughts and show off their bodies in addition to being an anime girl, they all have obscured their identity to the highest degree possible. So, excuse me, when you have an individual going around and sharing information like their faces and their bodies and talking about them, it is a greater breach of trust than normal, I feel. Because, like, when you're a YouTuber and you share your face on the internet, there is a certain amount of privacy that you end up losing, because it's very easy nowadays to connect faces to names and then get personal information from that. But with VTubers, the only thing you really have is their voice, unless you do like me and it's a little bit harder because you may not know how the original inflection of the voice goes. But even then, like, you really only have one thing, and that is the voice. So to take this personal information, which 99 out of 100 times is probably locked under an NDA. Like, all of the people at Niji are probably under a legal agreement not to share the personal information of any of these individuals. But when you take something like this and you share it with the internet, it's treated way more seriously than normal because of the level of privacy that these girls try to maintain. So it is something that I think is just another nail in the coffin for Nijisanji. Obviously, I don't think this is going to ruin the company. But it's just going to be another reason that people look at the company and say, man, you really suck. Is this the EN side? I'm assuming that because Core reported on it. No, I don't think so. I am assuming that this is the Japanese side of it. Which really only cements the idea that it's not just the EN side that really has issues. It's the whole company that seems to have issues. And I don't know, man. Like, it's just like people were speculating on Twitter. I'm trying to find my because I tweeted about it as well. I was like, how much worse does it get from here? Because, like, in the past, we've had a lot of VTubers quit talking about abuse at the company, people getting bullied, people getting left behind, not getting things that they've asked for, having to pay for their stuff, you know, all kinds of various abuse. And now we've jumped up on the list to something that I feel like is a lot worse. Because this is basically doxing. Well, not even basically. This is doxing. If the individual that is taking this personal information decides to put it out there in the general public, this is doxing. And it's very bad. I don't know if there's any laws about that in Japan, but it's still very bad. And it's a major leap in the reputational damage for the company. Because now, if you're thinking about joining Nijisanji, you now have the extra added layer of, okay, if I join, I might get bullied if I don't fit in with the crowd. If I join, I may not get the things that my fans send me. If I join, I don't get a play button. Now, on top of that, which I feel like has a lot more weight than some other things, if I join, I might get doxxed by one of the employees. It's just, what comes after that? What is the next logical leap in terms of horror in this company? Like, people were joking that the next thing, and again, Mizu joked about it as well. The next thing is the casting couch. And I'm not gonna say that's happened. I hope that's not happened. Legitimately, I hope that none of the talents have been abused like that, because it's disgusting to think about. But like, that's the next logical, like that's the next step in terms of being bad. That's the next scary thing, in my opinion. That we have a story of a talent that comes out and says that they were physically abused by somebody. I hope that doesn't happen. So I don't know. I
expect it soon.
You expect it soon? You think a year or 6 months or?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not gonna put a time limit on it.
Fair enough.
Because that way, whenever it happens, I can say I called it.
Fair enough. I'm not an expert on JP law. There's a high chance there's a law. They take privacy very seriously. Fair enough. If somebody wants to ask Legal Mindset about that, chances are he could have covered it, because he did do a stream about it. He also did talk about it here. I thought his comment was really good. Where he said, this is going to be an absolute nightmare on public relations, legal and business standpoint for any color, anytime when they seem to have a temporary quiet from a black company type behavior. If true, even in Japan, this wildly breaches reasonable workplace expectations. And yes, it does. So, again, like, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know. Introducing Ninji's next manager, Harvey Weinstein. No. Thank you, Victus. There was also chat. See, here's the thing. Not only was there an unknown VTuber. Oh, can I not? Let me zoom out. Not only was there an unknown VTuber, there might have been an unknown mascot caught up in the mix. I'm sorry. It's just, I kind of need to laugh right now because this is just depressing.
That's what you get for joining Nijisanji.
It's what you get, yeah. We have no idea who this poor mascot is. Again, thankfully, Core has censored their identity. But we must pray for this poor defenseless mascot. What's a mascot? Yes. That's what this is. A little animal. Do not the Nijisanji. No. Do the Nijisanji. As far as I know, it's illegal to take a person's photo, even in public, without their consent and upload it. If you do capture someone's face, it has to be blurred out as well. Okay. I'm assuming...
a Japan thing.
Yeah, in Japan. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
Japan is very strict.
I'm fine.
The thing is, this isn't in public.
Yes. It's in a corporate building.
It's in a private business.
Yeah, it's in a private business that has video cameras. I assume...
And it's an employee taking a picture of another employee, so it's going to get very legally gray.
Yes. That is also the problem as well. I am not quite sure how that would be finagled or walked through. But it is definitely still eerie.
Yeah, it's not defense of it. It's creepy as fuck.
Oh no! I don't think you're defending it.
We're just saying the legal aspect is gonna get very gray.
Yes.
Very quick.
Yes. Hello.
The ultimate problem is gonna be this is going to like fuck their company image.
Mm-hmm.
Which in Japan, that kind of thing can spread a lot quicker than it does in America.
Well, yeah, because like Japan takes privacy so much more seriously, that I just feel like when the next round of girls are, do they employ males in Nijisanji?
I think they do.
I think they do.
Know, like,
no, yeah, they do.
Anything about them?
They do. That's right. I forgot that there's the racist Nijisanji member. in the EN branch. But like the next time you get a round of girls or guys that are coming into the company, this is something that they're going to have to think about, and this is again like very damaging for the brand. Korsh got doxxed? No, it's a joke. It's a joke. Also,
Me and Kirsch both made one. So somebody made one on behalf of Kirsch.
Victus did. Hello,
Yeah.
Smug Suck. Welcome.
Victus did the wording on mine. Because I was
he
at work and I
did?
didn't have a way to easily do moon ruins.
Fair enough. Is that Mizu back there? I don't know. See, here's the thing, Chad. It's obscured, so we have no idea who that is. I imagine that if we got permission from the VTuber, we could uncensor the photo, but you never know.
I don't know. I might post that one tomorrow as like an extension of the joke whenever all the information comes out.
Oh, that would be on the first. So
Yeah. Whenever that comes out, I'll post the uncensored
there
one.
we go. There we go.
I
Maybe
think
we'll.
That would be funny.
Yeah, maybe by then we'll also learn who the poor mascot is that got cut up in the middle of this, because we
You know,
we
part
don't
of
know
me-
who.
A part of me was unsure if I wanted to post it, even after I like sent it to you, because I was like, it feels a little insensitive, like to any of like the girls that might be in those pictures.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? It's really fucking funny.
It is.
And ultimately, the joke isn't about them; it's about Nijisanji.
Yes.
So
Yes, it is.
I don't think it's that necessarily that offensive.
No, I don't. I mean, like, here's the thing. Even if it was slightly offensive, I don't think you would have cared that much.
I don't want to like fuck with them too much.
Oh no. Well, yeah. I mean, like the JP.
I want to fuck with the company, not the talents.
Oh yeah, I think the JP company. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say that because I don't know if the JP company is like slightly less toxic than the EN one. I want to say
Well,
that
no,
the
they're
Goldfish
all-
is bad.
They hold like a tight control over both branches. It's not like VShojo, where they've got like completely separate team.
I would not the Korsha, but I would the Mizu. Everyone would the Mizu. Sorry, I'm opening Dr. Pepper. I kind of need it right now. So is it really possible for Nijisanji to get worse without sexually exploiting its talent?
I mean, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, okay. What have they been successfully accused of? Let's see. Have they been accused of not paying their talents just at all?
Yes.
Okay, not in that case.
Withholding payment.
Withholding payments. Okay. Not good.
There's withholding payments, there's withholding people's play buttons, which is a big emotional thing. There's basically just not sticking up for their talents when shit's happening. Which would be like not protecting your employees, I guess.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of, in general, being a shit company kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I again, chat, like, I'm just not quite sure how much worse it really gets from this point on. You know? Withholding gifts, withholding contracted payments, withholding family. Yeah, they've done all of it. It's quite depressing to think of. They didn't pay taxes for... Yes, that's right, I forgot about it. They didn't pay taxes for... was it Michi that didn't get... They didn't pay the taxes for?
Yeah, so they were under the instruction that Nijisanji had their taxes handled. And then not just 1 year, several years later, the government comes knocking at their door and they're like, yeah, you haven't filled out any of your taxes for years.
Man, that sucks. Because, like, if they do your taxes, I imagine she probably doesn't get a W-2. I would hope that she does. Holy cow. Imagine that. The government says, hey, we need your taxes. It's like, my company said they'd do it for me. And here's the thing that sucks about that, chat. I don't know if she lived in America when that went down, but in America, they don't care. The government doesn't care if your company said that they would do it for you. They're just gonna arrest you or demand that you pay the money. So,
So I've actually heard that because of how the IRS functions, typically as long as you make a good faith effort to pay it after they bring it up to you that you haven't paid it, they're typically pretty lenient.
oh yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing, chat. As long as you plan to give them the money that they want, the IRS typically won't arrest you. Why? Because if you're arrested...
You make less money when you're in jail.
Yeah, you don't make much money, and you're useless in jail. So it's much
So as
better.
long as it looks like you're not avoiding them and you're going to pay, they're typically going to just let you off with a warning. Because you're going to make them more money not going to prison.
Yeah, they can just tack on, like, more money on you because you didn't pay. She's not American? I assume she's
Indian.
She's Indian?
And they have a different form if you're working outside of the country. I think it's Indian. Chat can remind me, but they have like a different form in their country because I know they mentioned it.
Indonesian.
If you work outside of the country.
She's Indonesian.
Okay, so that's close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
Same intonation.
Same continent, I think. Don't get mad at me, Chad. I didn't pay attention to geography in school. I don't even know all 50 states. Oh fuck. If DSP can survive the IRS, anyone can. Oh man. Speaking of DSP, we mentioned this briefly on the podcast, but apparently DSP is okay with VTubers asking to collab with him.
And Akko seemed to give it actual thought, and me and Lumi both were just like, no.
I gave it thought for all of like 5 seconds before I was like, you know what? DSP is not the problem. These detractors are.
No, DSP is still the problem.
Well, what I mean is like,
It's just his detractors would make it worse.
yeah, like collabing with him wouldn't necessarily be like horrible. I think that if he like had somebody on camera with him, he would genuinely be nice unless they were intentionally trying to fuck with him. It's the detractors that are gonna get upset because you decided to give him the time of day. So that's where it's just like, it doesn't matter if I think he's gonna be nice to me. I don't want to deal with what comes with that. Well, thank you for the 5. I don't care who the IRS sends. I'm not paying taxes. LOL. But for real, pay your taxes. Even the Joker is afraid of the IRS. Yes.
That's my favorite Dan versus meme ever. He just has like a hot woman show up to his doorstep, and he immediately goes, I don't care who the IRS sends. I'm not paying taxes.
Yeah.
The show is great, by the way. Have you ever seen it?
Which one?
Dan versus.
Dan versus...
No, that's the name of it. It's just Dan versus.
Oh, I don't think so.
And the bad guy of the week is whoever has pissed Dan off that week.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like literally just an obsessive man-child who, if you slightly inconvenience him, he will do everything in his power to research how to ruin your day.
Oh gosh, that's terrifying.
And there's one, like, I'll have to send you the clip later. There's one clip that really explains like Dan's entire thought process. Where he's talking to his friend and his friend's wife, and his friend's wife is like, well, what kind of stuff does he know?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, his mind is an enigma. It's a like, it's anyone's guess what kind of knowledge he has at any given moment. And he leans back and he goes, hey Dan, who made Mount Rushmore? And he like lists out the entire lineage of different workers that like worked on it, and like, and this one died at this point, and then his son had to finish it for him. And then he goes, okay, and what state is it in? And he goes, I don't know, Ecuador or some shit.
That sounds like something an autistic person would say. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest.
And that's just like, anytime he's mad at somebody, it's just somebody that slightly inconvenienced him or made him upset, which obviously he has beef with the IRS, because who doesn't have beef with the IRS?
Yeah. Sounds like Dev.
I'll have to show you. It's a funny show.
Oh gosh, yeah.
There's so much in that show, because it's intended to be a kid's show, that I'm like, I don't know how the fuck you guys got away with this.
That's great. His mind is an enigma wrapped in a mystery. Is that from that show too?
I think that's what he said.
Oh man, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It is a fantastic show, but it's the one where the little short guy in the meme comes from, where he says, I don't care who the IRS sends, I'm not paying taxes.
Mm-hmm. It just reminds me of there was a episode of the Batman cartoon where the Joker's like, I ain't messing with the IRS. Here's all my money. It's like he's a criminal, but
he gets
he's
an
still...
inheritance because apparently one of his family members is rich as fuck.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not messing with the IRS.
No, yeah. It's just a funny little joke because, like, it's a funny meta joke because, like, yeah, the Joker is one of the most evil guys in the world, or just like in comic book history. But he still remembers who is more evil than him, and that's the IRS. Oh. So, anyway. The IRS allows you to report stolen money for taxes that they will not
the
report.
IRS rewards you for snitching on people.
Yes, they do. They do. Isn't that crazy, Chad? Excuse me.
That's why people often compare the IRS to China's social credit. Except at least with the IRS, it's just money. With social credit, it's like anyone's guess what you've done to piss off the government.
Yeah. Is Mark Hamill's Joker, by the way? That's funny. Oh, by the way, chat, speaking of the Batman cartoon, I want, you should join the Discord if you haven't already. Join my Discord. It's the link in the description on YouTube. It should also be on Twitch as well as one of the panels. Join my Discord. And then, I need you to take your favorite stills from the Joker from the Batman cartoon, or just your favorite stills of the Joker in general. I am going to take a few of those stills and turn them into art of myself for my new model. Because my new model is coming hopefully in March. Hopefully. And I would like to start getting art as memes of myself in Joker poses that I can use as kind of just like promotion material. So if you have funny little stills or memes or just art of the Joker that you feel like would fit my new model, which is again clown themed, please send it to me. Pretty please. I will pick the ones I like the most, and I have a couple different artists I know I'm going to ask, and I will slowly get some art of that.
Completely unrelated to what Occo is asking, I'm going to torture Occo and Lumi later. If you know who TB Skyen is, please send me your favorite videos from his channel.
Who?
TB Skyen.
I'm terrified. Absolutely terrified.
He is an idiot. And he
Mizu's
makes
diabolical.
lots of shorts.
Oh no. Chat says you're diabolical now, I'm afraid. Batman, I caught a Pokemon Batman? Oh no.
If you want to like do a quick talk about him, I posted one of his shorts in the Discord.
Oh,
if you want to
dear.
torture yourself for 5 seconds.
Oh no.
Because like all he posts now are shorts.
Where did you post
Like his
it?
shorts channel has 2-hour-long videos on it because they're compilation of his shorts.
Yeah. Where did you post it?
In general. It's the one about Briar. Somebody else posted one about Seath the Scaleless.
In general of the T-chat?
Yeah, T-chat.
I'm not sure how to read Briar's designs. Oh dear. Okay. No, I did not press play on you. Thank you.
Hey, Riot, I have a quick question for you. Am I supposed to understand Briar as a child? Because on the one hand, the writer says she's supposed to be roughly college age, and the in-game model, yeah, looks reasonably more or less like a college-aged young woman with slightly large eyes, and the voice performance sounds reasonably grown up. But on the other hand, in the splash art, you made her look like this. And between the button nose, the huge eyes, the total roundness
He's got a
proportion, and the
point.
rather short distance between nose, mouth, and chin, this is a child's face. Like, these are the facial proportions of Annie, Zoe, and the Yordles. And not for nothing, but when the League of Legends Rule 34 subreddit, of all places, has to preemptively ban art of her because they're afraid it'll be inappropriate, I think that's a very strong indicator that the character design is not communicating her age correctly. I would very much like to understand this character properly before I
hate
assess her
all
design,
of
but
this
as
content.
long as her splash art has those proportions, yeah, sorry, this is just going to feel like an actually she is technically 3,000 years old situation, which I don't think is what you wanted.
I don't care. I don't think they care. Are you trying to show me a guy that's just like a heavy auntie?
No, he's just an idiot on everything he talks about. Like, he cares about the most bizarre, nonsensical bullshit at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even worse, like, when you have actual context to it, because he goes, you know, a child like Zoe and the Yordles. It's like, okay, Zoe's a literal immortal celestial, and the Yordles are all adults. Like, none of the Yordles are stated to be children. They are just a different race of people. They're basically dwarves.
Right.
But very cute dwarves. And he goes, you know, a child like Zoe and the Yordles and Annie. It's like, okay, Annie is an actual child, but Zoe is a celestial who's immortal and stated to be thousands of years old. And League of Legends doesn't even care about that because a huge part of her character is the fact that she simps the fuck out of Ezreal and wants to suck his dick 5 ways to Sunday. And then Yordles just aren't children. And then he makes this whole video. He's like, I find Briar's design very problematic. I mean, they show her feet and her face looks like a child. It's like, what are you on? Sorry, what?
This is an eternal, like, debate. Like, again, like, I go back to the thought of, what are midgets supposed to do? What are midgets supposed to do?
Yeah. But it's not just like the anti thing. It's just in general that's his content. It's like, here's this thing that I personally don't like. Let me make a short about random bullshit that's actually not related to this at all. And then portray it as like a moral failing on the developers.
I agree. Really quickly, Rusta, thank you for 5. Bid you good night. Won't be back till Monday, so don't hit 10k until then. Oh, don't worry. We're going to be hitting 10k, but it probably will not be in September. It'll probably be next month. Maybe. I'm kind of getting like 50 to 100 a day, so maybe it will be like this month. We'll see. I wasn't expecting it to be that quick, but, you know, a mixture of the videos and YouTube promotions are very helpful. By the way, chat, do you know what YouTube promotions are? This is something that I discovered. There is, so you all know what botting is, where you buy bots offline. YouTube promotions is basically the same thing, only it's allowed by YouTube. And YouTube, what it does is it basically, YouTube takes a video of yours and it creates an ad around that, and then it pushes it onto the YouTube sphere. So if you don't have YouTube Premium, you will see my thumbnail instead of an ad, which, my personal opinion, my videos are much better than regular ads. And so you'll see my video instead, and it's basically just a better way, in my personal opinion, to gain followers, because while you have the risk of getting your entire channel deleted from paying for bots to follow you, you can pay YouTube a fixed amount of money every single day to just put your video out there. And I do believe that works way better because people that you can curtail the interests of your audience way better. So like mine is, I ask for people in the US and Europe that like anime and video games, and then I just put it out there. So if you've got a couple $100 that you want to spend over a couple of months, that's what you do. Oh, excuse me.
That is so much nicer than the other Discord quest, and yet they still found a way to make me hate it.
What?
Play First Ascendant for 15 minutes with Discord open. You get a really cute avatar thing to go around your name that's based on Haley, but you only get to keep it for 2 months.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, why are you taking it away? I don't understand. Let me just keep it. It's a cute little thing. It's got like a little... Like, it'd be great for wintertime.
What the hell?
It's adorable.
Why even do it then?
I'm gonna do it. I just...
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way to, like, keep the avatar.
So you can buy it later? No, this is on Discord, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Discord.
Yeah, it's a Discord one. If it's on Discord, I don't think they'll bring it back.
Like, look, I will give them credit for their quest, because a whole bunch of the other quests you see for Discord is you have to specifically stream to people. And it's like,
Yeah.
Like,
They might make it repeatable, so you have to keep playing with Discord open. Either way, I still think it's dumb.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, yeah, I'd be fine with that, but I just still think
Especially
it's dumb.
if it's only 15 minutes, because I already play with Discord open.
Well, yeah. That's it. Just kind of sucks that they're making it a limited time thing. Anyway, Victor sent us a funny meme, and I already want to take a look at it, so I'm gonna mute
Where's
that.
old mystery?
And
Men should take what they want.
Oh no, Joker.
Don't tell me. You already know this, Batman. You know what I'm gonna do to that thing.
oh no!
Yes, men should take.
Are you good?
Oh no, yes. Did you just make that, Victus? No, you didn't. Okay.
What did they make this time?
Oh, it's a meme about catching a Korsh, and he inserted the Joker meme. The Joker Pokemon meme. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you, Victus. I appreciate that. That's a good one. What were we talking about?
I was talking about First Descendant because I'm weird.
Fair enough. Okay. Anyway, I feel like there's nothing really much more to talk about with Nijisanji. There's a lot of other people that probably could go way more in depth in it. Like Legal Mindset, he did a stream that I would like to listen to tomorrow, talking about potential. My assumption is that he's gonna address specific legal issues that can come out from that. I'm excited to see what he has to say. When do I send the Joker frames? So if you are in my server, just throw them in stream put them in stream suggestions. Yeah, put them in stream suggestions. That works. Yeah, that's the only place I can really. Well, put them in stream suggestions and then make a thread. So that it's a lot easier to find. Just do that. That'll be fine. Anyway, that's really all that can be talked about with Nijisanji right now. It's kind of gross. Hopefully they catch the guy that did that, fire them so that they go away, because it's I don't like it. But anyway, well, thank you for the two. Who has the best ass in the First Descendant? Probably Haley, the new one, because they literally like okay, chat. I'm going to show you the trailer for this, or at the very least a couple frames of it. And I need you guys to understand just how insane this is. I need you to understand just how crazy this is here. Alright? Literally, frame 1 is ass. Right there. Okay? Frame fucking 1, ass. Continue. There's climbing. More ass. And then she just slaps her ass. It just decided to slap her ass. Like, man, what the hell? Zoom in and enhance. They've, like, okay. South Korea sees that there's a market opening right now. They're seeing that the West has fallen in video games. Japan is in trouble, and it's their turn. So what do? Ass. Right here. I was alt-tabs, play it again. No. Here, I can do it again real quickly for you. Like... What? They understood the assignment? Yes. They did.
Nexon devs definitely play their own game.
Oh yeah.
So one of the missions they have me doing right now is Old Mystery, which is the one where you farm the heat sinks or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
And they have altered. So many people were farming this thing. They have altered the mission now to where you don't have to wait 5 minutes and fail the mission anymore. They just remove that part entirely. So now it just starts spawning elites every time you kill the previous one.
Well, that's good.
And you just have to kill all 5 of the elites.
See, chat, that's something I really like about the First Descendant devs. Like, right now, Somebody brought up a good criticism that they need play testers or people to test things out before they put them out there. I agree. They probably should do something like that if they haven't already. However, they are doing a very good job at fixing things when they notice that people are bringing up concerns. Like, literally, first couple of days, people mentioned how the event, one of the new events is kind of tedious and boring and bad. They changed it immediately. They made it even better. This is the kind of stuff that, like, people dream of when it comes to Destiny. Like, I remember when it comes to Destiny 2, whenever they'd have a new change that really sucks, it would be weeks before it gets fixed. And it would probably, like, it would not even be acknowledged most of the time. Like, unless it was a game-breaking bug that would benefit the player. Like, for all of you tarnished X's of Destiny, you probably can name off the top of your head situations where Destiny had a game-breaking bug that either gave you unlimited glimmer, gave you unlimited shards, made everybody in PvP pop like a balloon instantly. Like, that happened all the time because Bungie has spaghetti code. Whenever something like that happened, immediately they would disable whatever it was that broke the game. But if it's an issue that really sucks, that doesn't make it better for you, it could be weeks. It could be weeks or months.
I think this one is just really interesting because this wasn't even an issue. This is just people found an effective farm for these items. And instead of the devs saying, oh, fuck you, you're not supposed to farm it like that, they just said, well, fine, we'll just take out the thing that was making that farm, like, take 5 minutes and just let you do it as soon as you can kill them.
Yeah.
Which is a big problem with a lot of other games, where they find, like, oh, you have an effective farm? Can't have that. This is a farm game.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the First Descendant, honestly, is doing something that I think a lot of people are not used to. And that is listen to the players. Now, they do that they do that in Warframe. Warframe is another one of those games, and I will endlessly praise Warframe for their very quick responsiveness to things. Remember when Dante came out, they adjusted him. People said that's a shit adjustment, and they're like, you know what, we'll meet halfway in the middle, and I like that. And First Descendant,
I actually really like that Dante had to get broken first, because it made them realize that line of sight was shit.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like, I'm happy that they fixed Dante in the long run, because overall it made the game even better. Like,
because everybody immediately started shouting, and they're like, no, don't give him line of sight. It sucks on every frame that has it. And they're like, wait, line of sight sucks?
Yeah.
Why did nobody, like, mention this?
Yeah. Don't get me started about
because a lot of the skills that used it, people just didn't care about.
Oh yeah, and a lot of Warframes had skills that were useless because of that. Now it's just like, huh, now I might see this being more viable. And that's why I really like Digital Extremes. I really, really like that they are constantly improving and just choose. By the way, chat, I may go to the game. I may go to Animal Crossing while we're talking here, just when I have nothing to show on screen. I really do like that they do that, because it shows that not all game devs are shit. It shows that people are caring a little bit, and it's, like, really refreshing. It's really refreshing to, like, see people that actually give a shit for stuff like that. And so I'm very happy that we have games like Warframe or the First Descendant where they're like, oh, there's an issue, well, we can fix that, and then they fix it. It's, like, very refreshing.
I know it's a weird one to say it for, because a lot of people see them as kind of the evil company, but Nexon is really weird in that they have, like, a ton of people that, like, actually play the games. Because I've told the story before, but the new CEO of Nexon got really, really mad at how the old CEO was treating MommaOcco. And he just, like, as soon as he got control of it, he immediately deleted all the pay-to-win stuff that the old CEO had put in place. Like, people even had screenshots of him talking on the MommaOcco forums, trashing the old CEO because he hated it so much.
Yeah. I do remember us talking about that. That is really funny. That is very, very funny. I mean, it's just really nice that, like, again, it's very refreshing that we have these people that are coming into the industry. It would be nice if it happened everywhere, where every game was just quality and companies would compete with each other in a fair way, but we can't have that because
Yeah, instead you get Dustborn.
instead you get, yeah, exactly. We're going to talk about Dustborn a little bit later.
Those devs are so mad right now.
Yes, they are. DE should have never changed. Dante was fine how it was on release. A nerf is a nerf, and I'm not going to thank them for it. I mean, again, I understand it. Like, nobody likes nerfs. Trust me. I don't like nerfs. Whenever there's a nerf in any game I like, I'm going to be upset about it. But I'm
I'm
going...
pretty sure we've talked about this before, is we kind of prefer Warframe to just be badass Space Ninja, as opposed to, like, nerfing anything, because ultimately it is a PvP game. Who cares if one of the frames is absolute balls to the walls busted? I think PvE is a perfect situation where if you make everything busted, everything is going to get equal use time. Because it doesn't matter if one frame is more busted than the other, people are going to pick the one they enjoy the most because both of them are viable.
Yeah.
When you spend too much time trying to balance them, you actually lower playtime on other frames because people are going to constantly be looking for what's the best. What's the easiest way for me to farm this? What's the strongest frame? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it's just like, I know what you mean, Victus. I really understand what you mean when it comes to not giving any leeway with any nerfing. I get that. It's just, there has to be, I think with Digital Extremes, I feel like unfortunately there's just a little bit of a concession that I personally am just going to have to concede and say, well, yeah, it sucks that they nerf something. I hope they don't ever nerf anything ever again. But like, I'm happy at the very least overall, because they nerfed him, the entire game as a whole got better. Because if they didn't nerf him and people didn't like get upset, rightly upset in my opinion, then I don't think the line of sight would have been fixed. At the very least, not today. And so I'm very happy that it's one of those situations where I don't like nerfing, but like the nerfing led to a net positive in my personal opinion. Is he as powerful as he used to be on day one? No, he's not. But like, I still think that we're more of a net positive than a net negative, everything considered, and that's just what I think about it. The Dante was so powerful it wasn't fun. The nerf was completely needed, and he's still one of the strongest frames. I still think he is pretty damn strong. Like, the amount of overguard that I get now, granted, overguard doesn't work in every single situation, but the amount of overguard that you can generate with him if you've got your numbers correctly is massive still. Like, I have seen people do 30, 40, 50,000 overguard. And even though some enemies can chunk that, I still think it's good. I still think it's good. Bloomerang 690, thank you for the sub. We complained about line of sight for a long time. Mesa was the first Warframe that needed a lot of adjustment because guess what, Occo, back in patch 13, that's exactly what happened. Well, I'm just happy it's fixed now. I'm just happy that it's no longer an issue. I still think that Digital Extremes, at least in my personal opinion, again, compared to games like Destiny, and even fucking Helldivers 2, still very sad about that. Compared to those games, Digital Extremes does the least amount of balancing or nerfing in the game. I will maintain that I think they leave the game for the most part untouched unless they feel like they have to switch something up. Or they can do what they did with the elements and make everything basically viable. And I will say that one of the best things that you can praise Digital Extremes for is they made every single element way more viable, and thus now because of that, every weapon is potentially viable in almost all points of the game. Maybe not end game, but I personally think that I still think that it's a net positive. I don't know.
No game is gonna be perfect, chat.
No. And
that's just life.
I think that overall they are a net positive on the gaming scene. Mostly just because I've never seen a game company have, well, Satisfactory, I would say, was the first time I really saw this. But, like, most of the time, you don't see game companies be that open and forward. Ever. So, I'm very happy that they are as open. I'm not asking them to be perfect, I'm asking them not to make the same mistake they made every time since Mesa for the last 11 years. Well, I getcha. That's why if they make a mistake, you shout it out. And most of the time when people shout out issues in the Warframe community, everybody holds pretty much the same sentiment. So everybody's going to, they're probably going to listen because everybody agrees. And because of that, I think that they make good changes. You know?
Inversion reinforcement.
I believe that is like a new
Holy
thing.
shit, we have ruins.
We have what?
Ruins.
Ruins.
League of Legends had a ruin system which had like smaller buffs.
Oh, okay.
When defeating an enemy, grants biodensity augmentation. Max HP plus 4.7%, defense minus 0.9% for 30 seconds, up to 5 stacks. After reload, grants high density flame particle membrane. Fire resistance up, skill cost up for 3 seconds.
Also, if I didn't miss your super, I wanted to break from my speech. I didn't want to get off topic. Wolf, thank you for the 5. Insert Kylo Ren meme. More! Also, how can the devs be making these characters with one hand? It's impressive, honestly.
Oh, they added quick thinking.
Quick thinking.
If hit while at 10% or less HP, do not die. Grant inverted defibrillation. Consumes all MP to recover HP.
Here, chat, we're gonna hide the screen here so I can change the date because we now need to switch to the next day. Yeah, I think going back to the First Ascendant, which is kind of what we were talking about here. I think that seeing companies like the First Ascendant, like Warframe, that are more of a net positive than a net negative on the gaming sphere, I think that we should call them out and show them off to people so that more people can enjoy them, so that they get more money, so that they can do more for us, if that makes sense. Excuse me.
Oh, also, you should do your dailies on this when you get a chance.
I probably will.
It's like 1 million gold and
Oh, yeah.
100,000 Cuper.
I saw they add little rewards like that. It's really nice. Really, really, really nice. I think that they are doing a lot. I love First Ascendant and Warframe. See, there we go. Let's see. Nope, not that tab. Let me reopen my tabs, chat. We're basically done talking about that. Let's move on to talking about artists that are retarded, in my personal opinion. Absolutely stupid. Don't know what they're doing, what they're enforcing, and possibly, if they're not careful, can lead to another Project Melody situation, which I think you mentioned today.
Yes.
This is something that I was kind of hoping that you would show up for, so I'm glad that you are here. So, chat. This is an endless conversation and debate. Today, I started noticing everybody talking about how they don't want to control the VTubers that they make their models for. And I was like, huh, what artist had something now? I eventually found it, because somebody linked it to me. And so this artist here, Ripu, who is part of Hoshimi, which I believe is like a studio that makes VTuber models. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I'm assuming it's a guild of some kind because they're an artist. But they basically said, some of my VTuber children are recoloring their model PSDs without permission against my TOS, and I feel kind of ick about it. Don't know if I should talk to them about it or not. Is it normal to just use the VTube Studio recolor option and edit whatever you want? Sad face emoji. And then someone says, I think I'm missing something. Isn't it common for an artist to still have input on a commission after it's finished and delivered? I always assume that is after the art is delivered. It can be remixed at will. And they say, just because I complete the commission doesn't mean the client gains full rights to the artwork and can use and edit it however they wish. The artwork is still the artist's property and the clients are expected to follow the TOS even after the commission is delivered. That is not legally enforceable. I am sorry. I'm sorry, that is not legally enforceable.
A lot of stuff not legally enforceable. Even if it was, you're kind of shitty for doing that. I've talked about this in the past before.
Yeah, we've talked about this multiple times. We will be talking about it till the end of time, basically. But this artist is trying to say that because in their TOS, they want to hold you at gunpoint, basically saying, if I make something for you, you cannot own it. That's wrong, chat. Do you want to know why that, like, it's not going, thankfully it doesn't take a lawyer to explain this, but chat, do you want to know why that's wrong? Because unless they completely design your model for you, they have been given most creative control, and you're just there to run along for the ride. They do not own your intellectual property. All right. So, for instance, Ari, the guy that designed and made my model for me, even though he was heavily involved in the creative process for my model, I still gave him all of the things that he needed to learn. I gave him all the references that I wanted, and we designed it together, like parents do. But he does not own the model, all right? He does not have any hold over it. What he has is, he is the one who made it. He is the one that I will reference as the one that made it. I've paid him a decent amount of money in order to create all of the files for it, but he does not own this model. I own this model because I purchased it for my use, both personal and commercial. And if he tried to, I really don't want to use my artist as an example here, but just like if he tried to claim that he had ownership over it and tried to keep me from using it, that would not work. That would not work because it is not his intellectual property. The argument that I think really quickly turns this on its head is if you are a big enough, like, let's just say that the argument that I made here, in fact, I'm just going to open up my tweet here because I think my tweet does a better job illustrating it than I probably will trying to re-explain it again. I say, man, if I buy art from you, I own the intellectual property. That is my face drawn in your style. And if you try to take that from me, you're being sued. I don't think you understand how that works. My image equals mine, not yours. And then I continue on by saying, by the way, if you want to tack on another fee for commercial rights than that, then fine, question mark. I think all art should be default be offered with that. I feel somewhat predatory when an artist acts like this. Saying you own the VTuber art is insanity. You drew it, it's your style, but you have zero claim over the rights to the character that you did not make, you only envisioned in your style. That is why fan art will always be risky. You don't own the right to use/sell the art. The creator of the IP decides that. So, this like, cut and dry, they do not own my art. And they do not have a claim over my art. They have a claim for being the one who created it, and they can tack on whatever price they want to create my art for me. But at the end of the day, when the model is done and the job is done, I expect all of the files for my model. I expect full creative control over my model because that is what I paid for. And if you do not give it to me after I request it, I'm not going to pay you for the model. And if you refuse to continue to help me after I paid you, I might charge you back because I didn't pay for a license to use a model that has my face on it.
I will say you're probably not explaining it in the best way.
Okay, would you like to explain it better then? You probably could explain it better.
I think my tweet covers everything. They still own a bunch of shit, like, related to your model, even if because they don't have to surrender rights. This is why a lot of people need to get, like, a verbal agreement of what's in it.
But, like, at the end of the day, they cannot claim that your intellectual property belongs to them. They cannot use it in
They
that
cannot
way.
use it. They cannot resell it. They cannot really do much of anything valuable with it.
No.
However, it's debatable if they can prevent you from using it or not.
Right. So again, this is just one of those things that I really dislike. I don't have the tweet pulled up right now, but I saw another artist that was like even worse. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, because this one legitimately pissed me off. And I like, it got me maddie, chat. I got super duper mad at the internet seeing this. Don't worry, my screen's hidden. Let's see, not that one. Not that one. Just give me a moment, chat. I will find it. But basically, this artist said that if oh, hold on, let me look, because I don't want to get it wrong. And if I can't find it, I just won't continue this tangent. But it was very disgusting to read. Let's see. Did I delete the tweet? I don't think I did. Huh. I can't find it anymore. But basically, the artist said that they could take back control of your model for any reason if they didn't like what you did.
There's been a couple artists that have tried to say that.
Yeah, and I don't understand where people feel like they have the right for that. Because again, if you do that, like if you make something for me, and then you try to do that, I'm suing you. I will send you a cease and desist, and then I'm suing you. And even though we're both broke, I will demand that I will demand legal fees.
All you really have to do is just say, good, go try it, and then ignore them.
Oh, fair enough. Just joined. If the artist thing is about the one complaining about violation of TOS, they admitted they don't own the copyright. Yes, we're gonna get to that, because I wanted to talk about wanted to get to that. We're getting to there eventually. I'm talking about a different artist that I saw that like was way more egregious than this. Again, I don't know why I can't find the tweet. I had it and now it's gone, and I'm very upset that I didn't save it, because it legitimately pissed me off. But like, this other artist was like, if I don't like what you do, I can just take back the rights of your I can just take back the model. Check my retweets. Did I put it in my retweets? Okay, give me a moment then. Give me a moment then, chat. So you guys do a much better job at keeping track of my stuff than I do.
I need to make my bunny tankier. Oh, there's the Discord thing.
I vaguely remember seeing it. Okay. Let me take another look. I'll take one more look and then we'll move on here.
Good job, Akko.
What?
Very prepared.
Well, this is one that I didn't think about pulling up. I pulled up the first one, but like this one. Yeah, this one I just. Oh, really quickly, chat. We Mizu redid the pinned tweet. Excuse me. And now the pinned tweet has all of us in there properly.
Yeah. I decided it was probably time to just include myself.
Would you like a link to the official rules regarding work for hire and copyright? I mean, yeah, you can send it to me, but like, I don't think that I'm gonna be too far off from what is probably said.
No, the thing is, people have clarified that if you basically if you get art from an artist, unless it's explicitly said so, they still own the copyright. the thing is, a lot of people don't seem to understand what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if just because an artist owns the copyright doesn't mean that you can't change the work, because fair use is a thing.
Yes.
Which means it doesn't matter if I'm the one that purchases it from the artist or not. I can change it regardless because fair use.
Mm-hmm.
There's no law against that.
No, yeah, I agree. I can agree with that.
That's just something a lot of people seem to forget. Anybody can change the work. It doesn't even have to be the person that bought it. The problem is artists are trying to say, well, I can take the copyright back from you if I don't like what you're doing with it. That's not how that works. Because when you purchase the piece with commercial rights, you are purchasing the commercial rights. They cannot revoke that because they don't like how you've commercialized it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something a lot of the artists don't seem to understand.
No, I don't think they understand it. Pretty much at all. TLDR agreement must state its work for hire for ownership to belong to the commissioner, not artist. Really? Interesting. I don't really hear of these issues when hiring Japanese artists because most Japanese artists don't care about this shit. It's mostly artists in the Western side of the world that think that they own every single element of your model. And here's the thing. I would say for the most part, when it comes to commissions, we're pretty explicit, like the plans that go into them. Like when I buy a piece of artwork from an artist, if I want to use it in something, I will say, I would like to use this, so charge me whatever the fuck you want. And maybe some people are just stupid about that, but like, if I want to use it, like if it's a piece of art that I specifically want for a sticker or something, I will say, I would like to use this for a sticker. I would like to own it. So, and if the artist says that they don't want to give that away, it's up to me to decide whether or not I want to continue with them. There have been a few times where a commission doesn't happen because the artist doesn't want to let me own it. And it's just like, all right, it's not worth fighting with you over that. Quite a few situations, actually. It's been kind of insane to think about the fact that they're like, no, I don't want you to own this. And it's just like, excuse me? Excuse me? I just don't get it. Akko Animal Crossing, yes. Moral of the story, if the artist refused to agree, it's a work made for hire finds another artist. Yes, pretty much. Like, and this is something like I have been very careful of these days. Like when I have an artist, I will tell them, and this is mostly for artwork that I plan to share. When it comes for not safe for work art, I really don't care about it because it's like never going to be acknowledged in my professional side just because it's not safe for work art. But if it's like safe for work art that I could potentially use, I'll be like, hey, I don't want to use this professionally, so charge whatever you want because I would like to. And if they say yes and they want to tack on an extra however many dollars, good. And if they don't want to do it, then I just might not do it, honestly. Just might not get it. I've tagged you in the tweets. Okay. I have been given a lot of tweets here. No, it's not either of those. But thank you. Also, gentlemen, I do not see your tweet. If you replied to me, just DM me if you can. Because I'm not seeing it on my side. Always have a written contract? Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, here's the thing that really sucks. When it comes to art like that over the internet, that's kind of the way it has to be these days. You kind of have to be anal about that stuff, because if you're not, people are going to take advantage of you. And I really don't like that, because oh my gosh, we have Filbert. He's one of the originals. I really don't like that, because most people should just not be predatory for stuff like that. They should just understand that, like, hey, I want to buy this, and the idea is that I'm going to keep this. You shouldn't act like big corpos that act like assholes. Because like when they do this, they are literally acting like the big corpos that all of these people pretend to hate. So I just don't like it when people act like that. Anyway.
But yeah, the answer is it's complicated. And anyone who tries to pretend it's not is lying to you, and any artist who thinks they own absolutely everything just because they made it is an idiot. Because I don't think we covered that part necessarily as well, but you don't, even if you made the work, you don't own the IP. You own the copyright to that specific work.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of artists seem to think they own the IP, and it's like, well, I can just resell the model. Well, no, you can't, because it's my IP.
Yes. This was something that I argued with people when it came to the Tora stuff, and it's just like, oh, we're gonna resell Tora's model because we don't like him anymore. And it's just like, yeah, Tora sucks as an individual, and I don't think he should ever be back on the internet. But unless he gives you permission, that is his intellectual property. Like, yeah, you may own the copyright for that specific model because you did it, but you don't own the IP. Tora does. And Tora did like come out and say, I don't care, people can do whatever they want. And it's just, that's whatever, that's fine. But like, if he didn't come out and say, if he came out and say, you're not allowed to do that, well, then these people probably could have gotten sued by him. Have I seen the new villagers they added? I have not. When did they add them? So it's a situation where I think a lot of artists don't necessarily understand really the kind of power that they have. They seem to think that they can write anything down in a terms of service, and they think that that's legally enforceable. And a lot of the times you'll come across a terms of service that, no, it's not. It's not legally enforceable. And I think that some of these people should be challenged on it. But at that point, like, if I come across, like, literally, the person that I'm taught that I wish I found the tweet of, but the individual that like said that they can take back the model if they don't like it, I legitimately just in myself recognize this is not. I would never ever want to have a model made by this person. I remember what it was. So this person was wanting to make chibi models, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Let me check out their links. Maybe I favorited the tweet. Let me look on another tab here. Definitely gonna look on another tab because my favorites are messed up. Especially when I have a picture of Trump and they make it look like he's moaning for whatever reason. I might not have favorited it. Let's see. I favorited way too many Miku pictures. No, I think that I did. Yeah, I didn't. But
fun fact to artists, your TOS is not a contract.
No, not unless we...
Somebody has to actually sign it or e-sign it. You can't just say, look at my TOS. Oh, you looked at my TOS? Yeah, you agreed to all of it. It's not how that works. And courts have upheld that repeatedly, that little tick mark at the bottom of TOSs is not legally binding. Because you can't prove who made that tick mark.
Nope. Is not. I would need a lawyer actually tell me that's true before I agree with it. That it's enforceable. If I make it fan art of a Genshin character, start selling it, Hoyo can take me to court for profit because it's not my IP. Yes, they can.
I think what confuses a lot of people is if you ask a lawyer if a TOS is legally binding, they're going to tell you it depends. And what they actually mean by it depends is that it depends what's written in the TOS. Because stuff that a company already has like a legal right to do, that is legally binding. But it's not because of the TOS, it's because they had a legal right to do that to start with.
Yeah. Yep.
Like when games say we have a legal right to ban you in their TOS if you break these rules, yeah, they already had a right to ban you. Like that didn't need to be written down.
They don't need to say that the TOS is the reason. They have a right to ban you.
So if they're in court, they have like basically all of their ducks in a row. They don't want anything left out, so they would rather have it written down somewhere to be like, mostly to point to and be like, yes, we do have a history of specifically deleting people that do this, so this person can't argue it was unfair.
Yeah.
But it's not because if we don't put that in the TOS, they're not going to let us legally ban you.
EULA is the legal license you are purchasing for games. Yeah, EULA is a little bit different. That's a legal minefield I really don't care about talking about. But that's a little bit different. And that one I think is way more binding because that is actually set up by the courts. So... this is Disney tier litigation. You once subscribed to Disney Plus, now we can get away with murder. Yeah, that's sometimes how it feels with some of these artists. That's how it feels sometimes. Anyway, here, the studio that was in charge of Ripu would eventually reply 24 hours after that, because this was sent yesterday. So the studio says over the past 24 hours, Ripu has received multiple threats, including death threats through DM and email. Email's also been used to sign up for sketchy services and porn sites. I'm kind of surprised mine hasn't yet. I'm very, very surprised. This is not
That's
inappropriate.
actually what I'm talking about, and why I'd say I don't believe this stuff unless you show proof. We are in a position where we have many more eyes on us at all times than she did for that one tweet, and those are much more like aggressive and angry eyes than the ones that were on her tweet, because she actually didn't have that many angry people on her. Yet she immediately goes, "Oh no, I'm getting tons of death threats and all this stuff." I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. I would like to see it, yeah. Because, like, chat, when we had our drama, we got a few people... I mean, like, I saw the DMs. A few people were very upset at us and told us to go away. We even got a few people on you know, just on the timeline that said, go Minecraft yourself. But we didn't really get actual death threats. I think Lumi said that the business email associated with our thing got signed up for a few conservative magazines, which was kind of funny. But, like, we've not gotten anything yet. So I would like to sympathize. I just don't believe it. I legitimately do not believe that this girl has gotten harassment, because they never show it. They never show the harassment. It just boggles my mind.
I want to clarify. I'm not saying I don't believe she never got any harassment. I'm saying I don't believe she got like this mass amount. Because if you read it, they make it sound like she's just left and right, all these DMs. I believe maybe one or two people sent her an angry message. One or two.
No, yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that she got some angry messages. I find it hard to believe that there have been swaths of death threats because she decided to say what she said. Now, really quickly, this is the last statement about the matter that we'll cover. And she's basically saying that she will no longer reply to this afterwards. And by the way, I saw some super chats. I'll get to them after this. So the studio, I'm not quite sure who runs the studio account. I'm going to assume it may not be her, but it also could be her. Just putting that out there because I don't know. At VTuber Children and Commissions, many of our VTuber clients and children have seen Ripu's recent tweets. Since Ripu shared her opinion before fully understanding how VTube Studio recoloring feature works, some clients may have gotten upset by the message, and that is the problem that they probably ran into. They probably had to say, "Hey, shut up." To clarify Ripu's statement, Ripu allows her clients to reuse the recoloring feature as long as they give a heads up or ask for permission for any significant edits, which you really shouldn't have to do, in my personal opinion. Ripu is always happy to provide recoloring for clients at no additional charge, ensuring that the colors remain vibrant and consistent with the model style. That is nice. VTubing children own their models and commercial fees included. This means the model can be used for streaming, banners, promotional material, and more. Ripu does not own your design and never has owned your design. I'm glad they came out with this clarification because the way that she acted, it made it sound like she does own everything about the design. And again, that shuts off customers. And I believe that's why they came out with this, because they realized that what she said was actually potentially damaging to the company's ability to make money.
Oh yeah, nobody's going to want to hire them if they think that they're not going to own their actual model.
No, I wouldn't. Again, legitimately, when I was looking at that person that was making chibi models, their TOS was so bad, I was like, I'm not giving you money. Fuck you. Absolutely not. I'm never going to give you money. We sincerely apologize if the tweet upset our wording of our clients. We're taking all the feedback and replies to improve and become a more professional studio. Ripu will be taking a break from Twitter for a few weeks to focus solely on commission work and step back from social media to reduce stress caused by the tweet. To be as transparent as possible, Ripu will always keep the tweet up instead of removing or hiding it. Well, that's good. Keep the shame there so that people can be reminded. If you have any other concerns or questions, please DM us or see them through our Ask a Question. So, they did come out and say, yeah, she fucked up. Sorry about that. Please don't leave us.
Please don't not hire us anymore.
Yeah, I was like, we appreciate your business, even though she might not. We appreciate your business. And we told her to shut up. Oh fuck! Death threat. Show me the proof. Exactly. I don't condone it, but it did make me laugh at their reaction. Yeah. So it's just like artists are going to continue for always and forever misunderstand the actual power that both sides will have. I do believe that like artists shouldn't have no power. I believe that they should have power to enforce the work that they make to make sure that it is fair for both parties. I just think that right now we've got this case where there are a lot of people misinformed about what they can actually do, and it leads to a bunch of fake news. It is a bunch of fake news, and they end up becoming assholes, and nobody's gonna hire that. Like, I believe that a lot of people think in a similar way that I do when it comes to art, especially if you are wanting to be a professional in the field. You have to look at every individual that you want to associate with and have draw your brand and say, am I okay with this person's views and what they think? Am I okay with this person doing things for me? And if I see an artist do that, if I see an artist like be hostile like that, I'm not going to buy from them anymore. And I may, in fact, not use the art that I have commissioned from them anymore. And that has happened before. I have had artists that I have had draw for me, and then later down the line, they say something so stupid, I'm like, I can't use what they did anymore. This is a conflict of interest for me. So, I don't think a lot of these people necessarily realize that they kneecap themselves by being this stupid on the internet. So, excuse me. Let me ask the supers here. Make sure I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Like some crazy people on the internet. I don't miss super chats here. I'm a dirty whore. Ava.
They says it.
Ava for 10 SGD. What is SGD? What is SGD? SGD. Singapore dollar. Okay. So thank you for the 10 Singapore dollars. I appreciate it. Hey, Akko Mizu, I'd like to ask if any of you knew about the tragic tale of a Japanese VTuber named Lulu Ria. There's coverage video by Terry Nebula, and I was hoping Under the Tea could look into it. I've never heard of this VTuber before.
I think we can mark it down. I'm same as Akko, though. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah. Ava, I don't know if you're part of the of my server where people can talk to me. If you haven't yet, join the server and ask to DM me. I typically am very open to people DMing me if they want to submit stories that they want me to take a look at that could potentially be thrown out there. We're all of us on the podcast are very passionate about telling stories, and that sounds like something that might be interesting to look into. So definitely, I hope you're still here. Please join the Discord and try to talk to me about that if you're not already. And I'll listen to you. And then Wolf for 2. Wait, what's going on with Project Melody? Okay, so the reason why I mentioned Project Melody is because the situation that the artist that we talked about today is doing in a very similar fashion to what happened to Project Melody. Now, Mizu, you probably know more about this, so you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, a very similar situation happened with her, where the artist who made her model tried to completely control every aspect of it, and it was a very rough legal. I don't even know really if any legal battle
Melody
happened.
just lost. They actually had a contract. He included in the contract that she owned nothing.
And did she just not realize that?
Yeah, she just didn't.
So yeah, chat. Guy made a contract. She signed the contract. This is one situation where yeah, she's gonna lose. But she made a contract, and he basically said in the contract, you will own nothing and be happy. And she did not end up being happy because she didn't realize that. This is why, if you do sign a contract, you always look over it. You always make sure you know exactly what's going through it. And then you blacklist that artist for being such a scumbag piece of shit human being that would do something like that. I thought they settled. I
have to look deeper into it. I was under the impression Melody just got fucked.
That's what I thought too, but again, I could be wrong. Gator, I see you in the chat. If you are more knowledgeable on it, Gator, you could you are allowed to tell us if you would like. But yeah, I was just under the impression that like she was fucked and she lost. But yeah, that's why I bring it up, because like when that happened, that was kind of like really the first big time a lot of people kind of saw the insanity from artists that make VTuber models, and I think a lot of people from that point on started to realize that some people, when it comes to VTuber models, are fucking insane. Want to watch a funny clip? Sure, you can submit it and we can watch it a little bit later. Is that Gator from the kill stream? Yes, it is. From the kill stream.
The new invasion missions are way too hard.
Are they really?
I have like a fairly built character right now, and I'm just not winning. They just do too much damage. I
heard that they had to reduce their difficulty because so many people were saying that they were too difficult.
Well, because it like forced me into this by myself. It didn't let me join on with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
If I had it like one other person, it'd be fine. But you get killed at the ending, you just have to restart the whole thing.
I see. I posted it in a meme a bit earlier. It's the one with the pickle. Oh, I saw the pickle one. I watched that one. I had never seen that VTuber until today when you posted that. I ended up following her because she seems like a cool person. Yeah, we can watch that here soon-ish. It was very sad. I thought why her Twitter wasn't updating. I think you're talking. I'm assuming that Ava, you're talking about that VTuber you mentioned. But yeah, reach out to us and we can talk about that. In my wait, what does IIRC mean again?
If I remember correctly.
Okay, if I remember correctly, the actual problem was artist wanted revenue split after she popped off. That is, that does actually make, that does actually feel like it rings more true, in my personal opinion. Melody, she wound up getting a new model via a modeler team she hired who wishes to remain anonymous. Well, fair enough. I mean, she has so many new models today, because all of the shoujo girls just always getting something new, you know? That is probably like way in the past, the model that she used to use, so people probably don't even remember it these days.
I hate this so much.
This is back in 2021. Yeah, that was how long ago it was. Oh, that's crazy. Talk to my neighbors. Well, that one's probably not going to get done. Yeah, I just wish that more artists would be fair to their customers. Speaking of the kill stream, I also had Project Melody on. Wait, on the kill stream? You got Melody on the kill stream? I feel like I would have remembered that if I saw that. Because I didn't really watch the kill stream ever. Because that was annoying. But I don't remember that. Almost had. But as with all things, kill stream, the background check did not clear. I see. My personal opinion, I think Melody dodged a bullet. Not you. You're fine, Gator. But I think that Melody dodged a bullet. I think that having her on the kill stream would have been an issue, because let's just be real here. I don't know how many of Ralph's fans actually would have enjoyed having an e-thought on his stream like that.
Well, they would have just shit talked her the whole time.
I mean, he did have a whore on his stream once, if I remember correctly. That was like an unironically, legitimately a porn star. But I don't think that it was a good interview. I remember that. I was like, oh, this is like depressing to listen to, because he's talking to this e-thought, or not even a thought. She was just a porn star.
No, he was talking to an actual prostitute. Last I checked, it wasn't a porn star. It was an actual just off the street prostitute.
That's right. You're right. And she was just talking about how it ruined her life. Because, like, I think that he expected to bring her on, hoping that she
to make fun of her.
Yeah, and she was just like, yeah, this whole thing ruined my life. It was really horrible. I hope that people don't, have this happen to them. And it was just very depressing to listen to.
Yeah, no, you have to do this first invasion mission by yourself, and this is not fun.
Indigo White, that was her name. Oh, yeah, I hope that woman's doing well. As with anybody that's going through that, I don't look at actual prostitutes as like evil people. I look at them as like who hurt them, and then I want to pray for
their
them.
dad typically.
Their dad typically, yes. Anyway, moving on from the artist thing here. This is kind of a interesting aside. I think Indigo is trans now.
Whatever floats their boat.
All I'm gonna say is, because of what I've seen of them, I'm not really that surprised. And I'm not saying that to be mean. It's just, I understand that sometimes when you're trans, it comes as a response to the things that happen in your life. So, not really that surprised. It's really sad. And I think Ralph hired one and had her on the show randomly. Oh boy. It surprised me that people willingly work for Gutlord. Well, I agree, but to the same extent, there's sometimes when you look at people in politics and you're like, how do people work for that person? How can
you
people...
can understand that better though, because that's people trying to like push forward their ideology, and they're gonna back whoever they think is gonna be most successful at getting their ideology into office.
Yeah.
When there's no value specifically in aligning yourself with the person, that's when it makes less sense.
Fair enough. He used to be less of a psychopath. No, I agree. I think that once the heel stream happened, it was all downhill from there. Because when you lose your main platform of work, and it's really hard to rebuild a support group, I can understand that people go slightly insane trying to claw back their identity. And I
Skill
think...
issue, honestly.
I think that happened, and it wasn't easy for him to cope, and things went downhill from there. That's. I'll be honest with you. I just feel like that was the point where, from what I observed, gone through the Gamergate stuff and just going through Ralph's history, he's always kind of just been up and down. But he didn't actually snap until after the heel stream. I mean, it took a little while, but heel stream happens, he gets banned, he's bounced back and forth. And then the corn joke gets made, and everything is off limits there. And that's when everything just falls apart. I remember, because I was listening to Maddie back then. I remember when Josh makes the corn joke, and back then I didn't really know who Ralph was that much. I had seen him once or twice mentioned on the show. I remember when Josh listened to him on the Dick Show and all that stuff. But I didn't really know who Ralph was until Josh made the corn joke, and then the next week he's like, well, Ralph's mad at me, and I'm like, who the fuck is this, and why is he screaming like a maniac? Thank you, professional gentlemen, for the 5 Canadian. I have a few Kanukistani shekel coins. I appreciate that. I accept all currencies here. No, you guys are amazing. No, but like, getting banned from YouTube mentally destroyed him. No, yeah, I 100% believe that when your main support structure is destroyed, and it's the same with canceling. I believe that was him getting canceled from the internet. His main source of income was ripped away from him unceremoniously, and in my personal opinion, there was no reason to tear him away. It ruins a person. What's the corn joke? Okay, there's a bit of deep sector lore, but during the time that this joke was made, and I have to give some setup for it before I actually tell what the joke is, because it's going to be a little confusing if I don't. During the time that this joke was made, there was another individual on the internet named PPP that was going around kind of just like shaking up the sector because the Jake Masterson had started up what was called New Project 2. It was basically a Patreon for people that were booted off of Patreon. And PPP had taken some issues with it, and he was kind of feuding back and forth with people. And I believe that one of those people was Ralph. And eventually, like, it led to some fighting between people, and it led to some spats and stuff. And like, Josh was responding to a comment, I believe, where people were asking about PPP and stuff. And Gator makes a better TLDR than I do. TLDR, Josh suggested that there were so many people messing with Ralph that maybe they should just let them have Ralph so these people would just go away. Yes, because basically what he said was the association with Ralph was too toxic to continue, and so he believed that it was time to quote-unquote sacrifice Ralph to the corn, which really is just him saying, I think I can't associate with him anymore, in order to continue moving on. Now, on its face, it's a joke. I don't think that he was actually planning to distance himself from Ralph. I'm sure that it was like a mixture of a serious thought along with a joke. Because I don't think at this point he actually was like planning to leave Ralph. I don't think that's something that Josh does. Even though he's like the owner of the farms and an evil person to so many people. I don't think that's what he was going to do. Obviously, I'm not him, so I wouldn't know, but I didn't get that. And Ralph took it as like the ultimate snake move, that Ralph, it was time to run away from him. And so Ralph decides to go out and start being an asshole. Decides to start spewing a whole bunch of things that, as far as I know, aren't true about Josh when it came to lolicon shit. And then it like spiraled down from there, and it's just like that's what started the sector gunt hate. And after that, Ricada got dragged into it because he made a joke about Ralph shitting his pants, which I still believe he actually did. I don't know if anybody could. Gator, I don't know if there was ever confirmation about that. But like, I'm pretty sure he did. It was so bad. I have to imagine that's what happened. It just sounded like it. But then Nick Ricada got caught up in it because he made like an gross kind of comment. And then Ralph was like, oh, what you do that to me, you evil scammer shaster Nick Ricada. And it just all went down from there. It legitimately just all went down from there. And then looking at where Ralph and Ricada are now is really insane, because now, and by the way, we're going to kind of switch up what I wanted to talk about next since we're bringing up Ricada. Now that, like, Ricada's going through his own shit, and him and Ralph have kind of made up, which, bad idea in my personal opinion. Ralph actually is visiting Ricada and actually, like, participating, and did his classical point at whatever the fuck he wants to stand next to while taking a picture, which is very fucking retarded in my personal opinion. He looks so dumb. It's so funny. Oh, it's so funny. Legally, Ricada is a cuck now. Yes, we will talk about that a little bit. It is proof that all these people are super fake. when it comes to Ralph, I don't know. When like I do believe to some degree there is a lot of kayfabe, but I do legitimately believe that when Ralph heard that corn joke, he was legitimately pissed off and upset and decided to go on a crusade. And when he heard the thing against Nick, he was legitimately upset. I legitimately think Ralph is 100% real when he gets upset at somebody. But like, I don't know. What do you think, Mizu? Do you think that it's kayfabe, or do you think that Ralph is actually that emotional?
I think he's crazy, and it's impossible to tell anything with him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Ralph doesn't squash beef, he marinates in pig. Oh gosh. Pig rage. I don't know. Is clout chasing behavior? Or perhaps. Perhaps. I don't know. I don't think, like, legitimately, I think that, that a lot of what Ralph did was clout chasing behavior. But I don't think any of it was planned. At least if it was really bad. Ralph is worse than DSP. I think it depends. I don't know. Again, I'm like, DSP is one of those guys that legitimately just don't pay attention to because I don't care. I would say there's a lot of ways I would agree with you on that. I don't know. Do I think Ralph is being banned from the Middle East due to being a haram creature? Okay, that's... I see what you did there, monstrosity. I see what you did there. Oh, holy fuck, that's awesome. Oh man, that is funny. I am out of iron. Of course I am.
Who isn't out of iron these days?
Very true. The sector is a total sewer, and the internet will be better when it gets flushed. Yeah, probably. It's one of those things that I just don't think is gonna be so easily removable. I don't know. Anyway, chat, I need to use the restroom. We're gonna get to reading some documents here, for the next little bit, and I need to use the restroom before I read that. So, Mizu will talk to you for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about how Rekida's a legal cuck, and then we're also gonna talk about how his newest motion that he's trying to dismiss the case on has, I believe, been denied. So, I'll be right back, and we'll get started here. Be good.
Akko lied to you, chat. I'm not gonna say anything. They're a fibber. So how are you guys doing? The fact we cannot bulk craft in AC drives me crazy. What's AC? Pantomime to us, Mizu? I can't do that. My arms don't move. Oh, Animal Crossing. Yeah, Animal Crossing is a bit, what do you call it? Antiquated, design-wise. Give us your best Sui. I'm not doing that. You guys can play with the Ralph thing. I don't want to be involved. I choose not to be involved. What character are you using in First Descendant? I was using Ultimate Bunny. But fuck these invasion missions. Like, holy shit, dude. These are genuinely awful. Like, my bunny isn't perfect, but she's pretty well built, right? Like, I've done most of the stuff I need for her, and these missions are still just kicking my ass. Doing pretty well. My life actually got a lot better when I left. Well, good for you.
Hello, I'm back.
Welcome back. Invasion missions are trash. Yeah, I'm not liking them. And I know Akko mentioned they were fixing them, but then I looked it up. They aren't fixing them for like another week.
Oh,
So,
really?
Not till the 5th.
Oh, well, that sucks.
So I'm just not participating in them. Because I looked it up. You just have to do them solo. And they're just way too difficult. Like, I have a fairly good bunny set up. And I just can't beat the bosses on them. Because a lot of them have homing shots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting shot through walls. I'm getting shot all over the place. It's spawning too many enemies. I can't kill them quick enough. Like, this is genuinely not fun.
Ooh.
It's not a challenge either. It just feels unfair.
Off topic. Did Tem send you a picture?
I don't know. Let me check, I guess.
Okay. Side note, chat.
They did not.
Side note, chat. Temp, my good friend Temp, who I've been trying to convince to use a VTuber model. If you don't know, Temp is my head mod. He has been my best friend for multiple years. I have actually visited him IRL, so he is an actual verifiable friend. So I've been trying to get him to stream for a while. Now he's streaming. Now I'm trying to convince him to use a model because he needs to. He's like, I don't want to spend a lot of money for something. And I was like, you don't have to, because there's pre-made models that exist out there that you can adjust. I can't remember who the artist is, and Temp should hopefully know. I actually have the artist saved on DM, so I can find them later. But they made a pre-made model. They made not Eva. The VTuber reporter. Shoot, what is her name? I can't remember her name, but the VTuber reporter. Her artist did this pre-made model, and they released it for like $50. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Temp. Temp's got to make himself a model. And we had a vote. We asked, does Temp become a pretty girl, or does he become a femboy? And it looks like the femboy is happening. Oh my gosh, I gotta buy him a webcam now. Chat. Oh, I'm so excited. The peppermint pupper is becoming the sassy dog is now becoming the model everybody wants. Oh, I'm excited. Mizu hands you knee-high socks. Welcome to the club. I like this so far. And he says he's still working on it. But I like this. Never put that up to a vote? I mean, fair enough. But this is pretty good so far. Oh, what do you think, Mizu?
It's solid.
I agree. For like it cost me $50 to buy this. It's an adjustable model. I say for $50, this is pretty good. Tam works in IT too, so he would be wearing the programmer socks. I like this. What Cody is planning for the sneak stream is just as bad. Wait, what? What a cutie. I know, right? Again, Temp Kit Sempt, head mod. You should go sub to him. Even though he's not a VTuber, quote unquote, not a VTuber, you should still sub to him. And maybe, if he gets big enough, he could, like, call himself a part-time VTuber. I don't know. I told him that if he gets big enough, he could stream and make a little bit of extra money on the side from that. Because he works at home. His job is literally just IT. So he's at home all day. He could be the IT VTuber. That probably already exists. I don't know. But he could do that.
Definitely already exists, but it's okay.
And if, you know, I am willing to, like, if he sticks to it, here's what will happen. If he sticks to this and wants to keep the model, I will buy him the full version of VTube Studio. I will buy him the multiplayer version of VTube Studio so that his model can actually be on screen with me while he streams with me. So, if he sticks to it, we'll do it. We'll do it. But I like. The femboy look is nice. I think it works relatively well. SNK King of Fighters. Okay. He's gonna make me play through the entire franchise, including all the super bosses, and I get... Oh, yeah, I remember you talking about this. I remember you talking about it. I remember. Fair enough. Okay, so we were gonna talk about Ricada. However, I want to put it up to a vote to you guys. Do you want to talk about the legal cuck now, or do you want to talk about the Dustborn message that the devs sent first? Because the Dustborn one is a little bit shorter, so that could be knocked out about 5-10 minutes. But I want to know what you guys want, because like Ricada's probably going to be like upwards of an hour if we want to go that long. Do Dustborn, do the Dustborn. Okay.
Dustborn devs are so fucking cringe.
They are. Do Dustborn. Okay,
You know,
we'll do
people
Dustborn.
joke about mask off moments, but Dustborn as a game is such like a massive mask off moment. I genuinely don't know what to call it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like, it's fucking wild that some of the stuff they said in it.
I agree.
Like, they just outright admitted to, like, oh yeah, canceling is when we try and isolate you from everyone you love in your support group, and it's like, why the fuck would you say that?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyway, we will go through their tweet first, because chat. Oh, you know what? I should pull up the Steam charts here. Let me pull up Steam charts. I want to pull up Steam charts so this can be funny.
Oh yeah, they got a bunch of government money. Yeah, that was funny. Oh, we're an anti-government game. How much money did you receive from the government? You know, like $50,000.
There we go. Here, we're gonna slide that over here. Chat. Dustborn ain't doing too hot. They aren't doing too hot. Here, I'm gonna zoom in on this if I can. There we
I don't
go.
see what's wrong. We only got a small loan of $1 million from the government.
Yeah, chat. They aren't doing too hot. A game that accepted multi-millions of dollars from multiple governments, turning it into a propaganda game. Their all-time peak was 76. Where was that? Like, oh my god, this game hasn't even been out for a whole week and it's doing this bad. That was back on August 24th. And ever since then, it's been up and down and up and down. Right now, 26 people are playing right now. And the number probably went down after that artist was... I can't remember her name. There was a female playing it. Savvy. After Savvy was done playing, the amount of people probably went down. It'll go up by 1 when Mizu decides to play it all day for a day. I decided that if somebody buys Lumi the Quest headset, I would buy and play it in one sitting myself, as much as I can. But this game ain't doing too hot. Okay, a lot of people have been dabbing on it. A lot of people have been criticizing it. A lot of people have been showing screenshots that don't make this game look particularly really good. And so recently, the devs for this game came out with a statement. I do see this community note down here. I will read it after this here. But this is a message from the Red Thread to our community. Now, Red Thread is the developers for Dustborn. I noticed, by the way, that in their bio, they haven't changed Dustborn to out now. They've changed it from Dustborn. They haven't changed it from Dustborn coming soon. So, that's kind of funny. Modern audience wear. I know, right? To our community, since we first announced Dustborn, we've read your comments and listened to your feedback, hopes, and wishes for the game. Over the past 4 years, our team has poured their hearts into telling a story that's deeply meaningful to us. A story about the power of words and about building a world where everyone can feel safe, about love, friendship, and robots, of course. See, from the little I've seen of this game, I don't feel like they were going for a world where everyone felt safe. They were going for a world where their people felt safe. We expected Dustborn to spark conversation and debate and looked forward to engaging with our players in a positive and constructive fashion. All 30 or 40 of them. Unfortunately, that conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. We welcome thorough, thoughtful feedback and respectful criticism. We embrace discussion and debate. We have zero tolerance for hate speech, harassment, and threats of any kind. Those who engage in such behavior will be removed from our community. To everyone else, thank you for coming on this journey with us. Your support means everything. Your constructive feedback continues to push us to learn and evolve. Together, let us continue to build a world where everyone can feel valued and empowered to share their stories. Red Thread Studios. And the rated community note would appropriately say how I feel. Red Thread Games wants a discussion, but locks the replies to the initial posts the image was first posted, where X users quote retweet to engage discussion. Ergo, Red Thread does not want a discussion, negative or positive. And that is true. They have locked the replies. They do not want a conversation, in my personal opinion. If they wanted an actual discussion, they would allow people to say it. Now, there have been a lot of quote retweets here. I'd say some of the best ones are just showing how horribly bad the game is doing. And then some people would rightfully point out all of these very bad mechanics in the game, like this one right here is, in my opinion, this is the worst one here. Like, there's a lot of really bad powers that this girl Moot learns throughout the game. This is the worst one, in my personal opinion, because they like people have been trying to obscure what the meaning of cancel culture is. But in this game, this is like the first time, in my personal opinion, that you've actually got a piece of media that is very die-hard in trying to define what cancel culture is. Like, I'm pretty sure publications have tried to dance around the idea of it, but this is the first time I feel like we've seen it. Where it says, canceling allows us to isolate people from their friends and compatriots. In battle, this could be a useful tool against enemies. So think about that, chat. Their idea of effective cancel culture is isolating you away from people that you like and love. Isolating you from your job and from people that you want to interact with. That's what cancel culture is. And so I don't know. People tweeted this image a lot. It was really funny. Brutus had a good own on it. Is game sucks. Okay? Absolutely fucking sucks. You also get possessed by disinformation. That's funny. That's funny. A game promotes bullying. Yes, this game actively promotes bullying and calls it a good thing. It's
basically the entire premise of the game is if you think it will further your ideals, it's completely acceptable for you to just be horrendous to everyone around you.
Yes, pretty much. It's one of those things where people are like, oh, it's I'm not the bad guy because it's my side. You're the bad guy because it's your side. And I don't like that. I don't like that.
This game is genuinely so bad at portraying progressive ideals that it has been a long-standing discussion since it came out if it's a troll or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. That like I keep thinking of. Chat. I want to have a mild discussion here. Press 1 if you think that this is a legitimate game made by legitimate people that want to have shit that legitimately believe in this conversation, or press 2 if you think that this is a troll. Press 2 if you think this is a troll. 1 if you think that this is anti-American propaganda. 2 if you think this is a troll. I'm genuinely curious.
I'm pressing 1.
I'm pressing 1.
I'm pressing 1.
Somebody press 2. Everybody's pressing 1. Everybody's pressing 1.
Like, look, on the one hand, I want to think that these people can't be that bad genuinely, right? But the thing is, I know they are.
Mm-hmm.
I've met people like this. I know they're bad people.
Oh,
Genuinely.
I have too. They're genuinely bad people. Utterly horrible people. ban the person that said, no, we're not gonna ban them. They're probably trolling themselves. Don't care. But I unironically like walk back and forth to the idea that this game could legitimately just be a psyop or a fake. I honestly think the game should be satire, but on the other hand, they actually believe this. That is their power of it. Yeah, that's the problem. Shun the non-believer. No, stalker child. You will not ban me.
I will ban you.
Oh, goodness. They don't have enough self-conscious? Probably not. Probably not, chat. It's a government grant / laundering operation. Well, I don't know that. But I could believe that. You could convince me that is the case. But like, I don't know. This game exists. It's a thing, and again, like I said, if somebody decides to be mad enough to buy Lumi the Quest headset, I will buy the game myself, and I will play it for you. I feel like that is an appropriate price for pain and suffering. I know that Mizu owns it because didn't somebody gift it to you?
Somebody gifted it to me and Lumi both.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to be mad enough to buy Lumi her headset, or at the very least contribute a decent amount of money to her having the headset, and you show the receipt for that to me in some way, I will buy Dustborn and I will play it. I genuinely see it from beginning to end, and I think it was because it was ran by loony lefties that overpaid themselves. I can actually believe that they actually wasted that money on talentless people. If it was money laundering, it would be a lot more cash. Fair enough. I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Based on the information we have, likely all of the money did go into the game.
Isn't that crazy?
'Cause
All that money.
It's such a well, technically, it's such a small amount. It's really not that big for like a game that took as long as it did to come out.
I mean, fair enough. It's just crazy to think, though. Don't give them money.
The thing is, if you like look at people playing it, it's not a good game and it's not a good story, but it is on some level competently made.
Oh yeah, I'm not
like
gonna.
It's not just an absolute abject trash fire that it's like I can't see a real person making this.
No, yeah, it's not like a Zoe Quinn game where it's literally just a point-and-click adventure. It's a game that actually got decent people behind it, and I think that's the saddest part of all, that decent people helped make the game. Don't give them money. I don't think, like, again, I'm willing to suffer. I don't think that there's enough people actively playing this game that if I bought the game, it would cause them to think that they need to make another one. Savvy, excuse me, literally one-handed a boss fight while not even looking at the screen. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's like good game.
No, we're not saying that at all.
Yeah.
Skull and Bones is doing better. Also, Clippu, what'd you send me? Where? Did you send me a clip? Oh,
I didn't.
Okay.
One of these days I need to level Enzo.
He's a good. I need to get Enzo. Is he the one you bought?
Yeah.
That's fair.
He's only like 300, so I was like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the one that you use to open crates.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you don't get experience for opening crates, so my Enzo is level 1.
Well, so how does that work? Does he just make the space where you open crates bigger so it's easier to grab them?
Bigger, he makes it take less time, and certain items only come out if Enzo's getting it.
I see.
He also basically doubles rewards anyways, so.
Yes. Speaking of Zoe, isn't she involved in the Alien Rogue Incursion game? So that is a tweet that I made. I believe, based off of what she says on her LinkedIn page, that yes, the new game that she's involved in, that is part of a company that she has now been hired for, is the Alien Isolation game. I don't know if anybody else has talked about that or reported it, but yes, I do believe that to be the case. Tempa sent me another update. Let's see. Log dining table, log bench, and wooden bucket. Oh, did Grums reply to you on that? No, he did not. I mean, he's probably busy, but like, I think that's something that people should look into. But if it doesn't happen, you know, not the end of the world in my personal opinion. Sex with Blank is doing better than Dustbin and Concord combined. I could believe that. Reminded me, there's a professional character designer that did an hour-long critical analysis of Concord's characters. Did I cover that? No, I have not covered that. I have not covered that. There's a lot. See, here's the thing, chat. There's a lot of stuff I wish I could spend time sitting down and covering. I just don't have time. I really like. Yeah. If I could do half of the amount of work that Kirsha can do every single day, I would be so much more fulfilled with myself. As it stands right now, I get so little time. Not only do I get so little time, I get even less time if I don't get to do research while at my job, which I'm technically not allowed to do. Because what happens, chat, is at my job, you're not supposed to use your phone, but you are allowed to listen to music. And podcasts technically fall under that category, in my personal opinion. So I will typically go on, when I get to my job, I'll pull up Yellow Flash, I'll pull up any podcasts that happened in the last 24 hours, and I'll start researching. While I'm on my break, I'll go on Twitter and look for news stories that I want to cover. I will put them in my bookmarks tab, or I will put them in a separate server where I have things that I want to pull up later, so that when I get home, I can very easily find them and pull them up. But for the most part, I don't really get the good luxury to do as much research as I want. I desperately wish I could. Like, I so desperately wish I could have 2 days off. Because if I had 2 days off, I could spend one day just doing a decent amount of research and prepping for stuff. What's my job? I can't say specifically, but I'm an assembly worker. I'm an assembly worker, and at my job, I have to have 100% involvement with my work. Otherwise, there is a chance that the work could go wrong, people could get hurt, I could get sued, and the company could close. So I have to be on it all the time. I don't necessarily beat myself up over it. I understand that, like, the difference between me and Kirsha is she does it full time. She can spend her time doing it because that's what she's getting paid for. People support her for doing what she does. And I'm not going to beat myself over that because I know that is happening one day. I'm getting to that spot as we speak, like, legitimately. I talked with Paco, my manager, about this, and we believe that, like, if the channel's growth continues and the support is consistent and also continues to grow, he believes that I'll go part-time a lot sooner than we thought. I don't want to say the timeline that we think of, just because I don't want to, like, set expectations for people to look forward to. But I believe that if we continue the course, we'll be able to go part-time on my main job. Actually, I wouldn't go part-time at the job I'm at. I would go back to Amazon and part-time that, because Amazon is a way more lenient. You can, like, literally go to Amazon and they'd be like, how many days do you want to work? 1. Really? Yes. All right. You'll work 1 day a week. I'd probably work 3 days a week. Okay, that one is done. That one is done too. I think it's time to skip the day so that I can refresh shit. Currently upward trend. Yes, we are on an upward trend right now, chat. Like I said, the the channel is growing. More people are interested in me, and I deeply appreciate that. Again, I can just think that I am eternally grateful because, like, over about 1 to 2 months ago, I was much smaller in my personal opinion, both subs and just people interested in watching me, and I am deeply, deeply, deeply grateful. I'm not gonna do the Merryweather is like, oh, I just don't have a fan base and all of my people leave me. No, I am legitimately super duper grateful that people are choosing to come in and find me interesting enough to stick with, because I have for a decent amount of time I've had a little bit of a self-consciousness issue. A part of that does come from, you know, being a Babaniku, because you think nobody's gonna really find you, like, legitimately. There was a time where I was like, I legitimately didn't think people would find me that interesting because, you know, man using a voice changer, oh man, that's cringe. But like, that's something that I had to push down, because it's just like, that doesn't matter. If you create good content, people will come, you know? And so I've been very grateful, like so grateful. Mizu can tell you how annoying I've been with it. Where I will constantly tell them I'm very grateful that we as a group have been given a chance. And we as a group have been able to grow the way we have. So thank you for that. Porcelain Maid is proof male with female model can be successful. I know nothing about Porcelain Maid. I have heard some things about them, but I don't know anything about Porcelain Maid. But I did know that they are a male with a female model. Rev? Well, the thing with Rev is that, like, I'm pretty sure Rev doesn't ascribe a gender to his model, which is why I feel like it works better. Because, like, I think people have often asked, what is the model? And he's like, whatever I want it to be. So I think that, like, it's a, I don't know if it would, I don't know if people would count that as a little different or not. I don't know. He says he's a girl? Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Rev does it good then. I just think that, like the point where that thought process shifted for me, the point where it shifted for me is when I realized that it wasn't because of who I was behind the screen. It was the moment where people see my content for what it is and can start to enjoy it had not happened yet. And I talk about, and I still believe this, that there is no such thing as getting lucky. There is getting the moment. And that moment is not luck-based. That moment is oftentimes something that you can prepare or know how to gauge. And then sometimes it is lucky. I mean, like, just for example, when it came to the Kirsha doc, I had absolutely no idea how many people were going to pay attention to it. I did not go into the doc thinking that the people that were going to come came. I went into it because I hated how things were going. I wanted to show how shitty it was being, how shitty people were being, and people came as a result.
You really need to work on your phrasing.
I know. I know. But you know what I mean.
I didn't know I could make so many people come at once.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't really like any of this today. I'll just buy the loafers. I do seem to do research on things I talk about, and I really appreciate the level of weaponized autism. I try to do as much as I can. Again, I don't want to aim for the lowest bar possible, and that is the blackface elf level of stuff. And I did see the clips, Victus. I appreciate those. I'll try and take a look at those here tonight, if I can. I will try to do that. Like, I do try to do as much research as possible because it's important to me. It's important to me to get the proper context, to get the actual truth across, because I don't believe that there is a lot of that in the VTuber, that's partially why I wanted to talk about VTuber drama, is because I don't believe that there is a lot of truth being told. I don't believe that a lot of people actually spread the truth. I mean, you got people like False that will only talk about what aligns with his principles and his people. And you've got Laura that constantly lies about shit all the time. At the time, I didn't know that, but knowing that now, it's just widely just crazy to think about. You know, we've got people like Rev who does cover topics, but he can't cover everything. So I wanted to be another voice to add to the pile, another person to contribute to the sphere. And so because of that, I'm very grateful that people have appreciated what I've done. And not just what I've done. I don't want to take credit for all this. I deeply appreciate the work that all of us have done in growing our brand as Under the T. Because none of us would have been able. I don't believe that any of us really would have been able to do it alone. Because like I did before we even started podcasting, I did drama videos, and they didn't really work as well, mostly because I just didn't have the audience. But I don't believe it would have worked as well because I needed some work. Mizu and Lumi have helped me out with that. And we've all just grown together. It's been fantastic. I'm very grateful for it. I wouldn't have had it any other way either. Sorry if that sounds gay, but like that just is what it is. Just is what it is, you know, chat. I just I think you're getting
love making you guys come to the stream.
You know, I'd rather be taken out of context or something like that than anything else. I'll be real with you.
Oh, you don't like people taking you out of context with the Nazi thing?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I
like if you didn't deny it. I just made some up on the spot, and you're like, "Yeah, it's not that I don't like it." But
well, I was trying to think. I was like, what is he talking about?
You just ran with it.
I was like, what are you talking about? You managed to win me over. I must confess, I originally had you blocked because of the drama I was involved in. Oh no, yeah, I 100% believe that like forever and ever, people are gonna lord over our heads the perceived mismanagement of things, and you know that's whatever. If people don't like us because me and Mizu shotgunned how we took things, okay, that's fine. You are allowed to have your opinion on that. I think some people were incorrect in their opinions, but it's whatever. You know, I appreciate that people give us a chance. Legitimately, chat. Legitimately, I firmly believe that a lot of people that I never considered to give me a chance and give us a chance, gave us a chance that I believe we deserve it, but like I was shocked at some of the people that gave us a chance. When it came to Legal Mindset, it was very nice of him to come on. I deeply appreciated it. I didn't think he wouldn't give us a chance, but he was just one of those people who was like, man, he's so big and so high up there. I don't feel like I'll ever get his attention. And like I want to say that like Lumi and Mizu were like, just try it out anyway. The worst he can do is just not reply to you. You know? Worst he can say is no. And then I asked him, he's like, well, can we do it in the future? And I'm like, yeah. How far in the future, sir? We'll do it whenever you want. That was awesome. And then when like I asked Rima, because I didn't think Rima would ever say yes, because I knew that like again, a lot of our content is very risque to some VTubers. Because when you're seen next to us, I think some people can have preconceived notions of us. And so I didn't really expect her to say yes. But she said yes. And I was very grateful for that. Rima is amazing. And I do believe that, like, her saying yes and giving us a chance, and a couple other people giving us a chance, has actively made people think twice about us. And I appreciate that. I really appreciate that people have been willing to take a second look. You know? Especially the sussy baka Mizu. A horse and a octopus go together like peanut butter and jelly.
I do seem to be the biggest problem in the group.
You would think that, but then people get so mad at me, and I personally think that, like...
They do say your name, though.
It's true. It's true. The Ninja Sisters went wild after the Selene drama. I don't think they ever found us when it came to that. I never expected talking about Selene would have blown him up like they did. Fair enough. Rima is very open-minded. She is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I deeply appreciate that she is. That is a trait that I think people need to be careful with, and I think that she does a good job of being careful with who she's open-minded with. But like, I think some people need to be more careful with it. Not her. I'm just saying in general. Being open-minded is something that can be dangerous. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Very true. Very true. Like, chat, I'm not going to say who right now because, like, plans and spoilers and shit in the future. But, like, after Legal Mindset said yes, I like, had to reevaluate who I asked that to. Because there are people that, like, I looked at and I was like, they're never going to give us the time of day. We're either too small or too controversial. And after Legal Mindset, I was like, well, maybe that's not true. Maybe that's just the stupid people, the antis, the anti-T crew that would say that. Sounds very gay. But, like, and now I'm starting to ask people, and there's enough recognition from us, and enough people know about us, where it's just like, they're like, yeah, sure, why not? And I'm like, okay, thank you. When it comes to drama, honesty goes a long way, because your word is your bond. I agree. And I think that, like, we all have pretty good values when it comes to how we report things. I think it is a pretty good thing to say we will never review real messages unless there is permission given. We will never share things unless you give permission. We are very kind to people, even if we dislike them. You know, it's just nice. You know? The antis, oh my gosh. Yes, Stray! Always coming up with some of the best stuff. Antis. Oh, that is great. Mizu, we gotta start using that.
I mean, maybe.
That's great. Antis. Holy shit. The antis won't hold us down. Oh, great. That's awesome. T-posing? Yes. Okay. Okay. I am sorry, this was a bit of a tangent. I meant to get to the Ricada stuff, but, kind of tangented a little bit here. The first thing we're going to talk... A little bit. I apologize. If you're here for the Ricada stuff, now we're going to talk about it. Really quickly, though, don't forget to like the stream. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. And I deeply appreciate it. Ooh, excuse me. Does Akko sound more cottony than usual? Here. It might just be because of the audio being loud. I turned it down a little bit. Tell me if it sounds better or worse. Where's Lumi? When you need her, she's doing a Memba stream right now. She's reading Berserk. By the way, chat, if you want to listen to Lumi talk about Berserk as she reads it, she does read it every Friday right now. So become a member for her if you would like to read it with her. And go give her some love as well. If I can raid into her afterwards, let's see, can I raid into a member-only live stream? Will it let me do that? It will. It will. So if you're a member on Lumi's stream, or if you're not, become a member, and you'll get to watch it. You get to watch it. So, There's an odd thing to ask. What do you do when you find something online that maybe you're not supposed to? I'm gonna need some examples for that. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Anyway, so I want to talk about the Ricada stuff because it's funny to me. There is a document that the farms posted today. There is a TLDR from it I will read. We'll go through as much of this as possible. When it comes to legal documents, chat, they are very boring. Not only are they very boring, but oftentimes it can be difficult to understand it if you don't have a bit of a legal background. I will do as much as I can to interpret it the best way I can. It's also 10 pages as well, and it's already 11:30. I'm not going to be reading the entire thing. I will leave a link to it. There is a link to it in my Discord if you really would like to read it. Again, it is on the farms. If you don't like the farms, understandable, fine, whatever. But there's a link to it if you would like to read it. There on the farms. You can also download a PDF for it if you would like to read it as well. Before we talk about that, though, there is a little bit more stuff about Ricada that we need to talk about. Akko is the Kiwi Farms Whisperer? No, that's Kirsha. Kirsha can take that job. I don't see. That's the thing that's funny is like I don't even really use the farms. Like, here's the thing: if the farms is the only place to get information, of course I'm gonna go there. And if it's if I feel like it's true, I'm gonna talk about it. If they have legal documents on their website, I'm gonna use it because I'm not gonna go to a government website and try to skirt through that. If that makes sense. Anyway, if you don't really understand or know what's going on right now, Ricada is in a legal battle with the state because he was arrested after it was discovered that he could have potentially taken drugs on off camera, and the video in question that is actually being contested to try and dismiss his claims, the claims against him, is a video where he was on camera. He looked visibly like what's the right word for this? He looked like he was mind blanking right now. He just looked bad, basically. And some people alleged to have seen a white powdery substance on his nose, and that was enough for a cop to get a warrant to go arrest him, basically, and remove him from his house and from his children. So the fallout from this has been massive. One of the things that came out recently that that was entered into as a court document is basically that Nick Ricada was actually swinging, was actually a cuck. Now, like, legitimately, chat, the question of Ricada being a cuck has kind of just like been up in the air. Because, like, he admits it, he doesn't admit it. Nobody really knows how to really go about that. But in a recent court document, and I did skim through it, it basically stated that yes, his wife was having sex with Aaron Amholte, who's another crazy individual on their own right. That they were swinging, basically. And so, yes, in a legal document, it is now a legal fact that Nicholas Ricada is a cuck. It can't get much more official than that. Just saying. Wonder if Drexel got it. Oh, hey, fencing. So he's a cuck, legally speaking? Yes. Imagine having the court declare you as a cuck. I know. It's very bad. Oh, goodness. After all the cuck jokes he made at Jack Murphy? I know, right? Isn't that crazy? So that happened. It's very bad in my personal opinion. Very, very bad. I don't know how you could live with yourself after having something like that come out. Oh, the irony of how he got his start calling Maddox a cuck legally. That's right, he did do that, didn't he? Oh. That's right, because if you don't know, Nick Rekieta got his start reading the LOL suit from Maddox and Dick Masterson. That's how he got his start. And then he blew up by doing the Vic Mignogna stuff, and then he snowballed even bigger because of the Johnny Depp and the Kyle Rittenhouse trials. So he got big after by calling other people cucks, is basically what we're saying here. He was a fraud all along, possibly. I don't think he was I don't think Rekieta's ever been a fraud. I just think that like he's a fraud in that he doesn't have any ideals that you can say he actually holds. He likes to speak a lot about what he likes, but I'm at the point where I don't believe any of it was true now. So I don't know. Poor Vic. I know. I mean, like, Vic's doing much better now. Vic does his has a thing that he does where he reads scriptures and stuff, and that's really nice. But like Vic is doing better now, but I am willing to say that I feel like Nick Rekieta did not really help him that much, if at all. I am not sure if him not doing the GoFundMe and the court case, or pushing him to do the court case, would have let Vic be in the spot he is today. But I am not really of the opinion that he helped Vic a whole lot. All he did was get quite a few years of coverage for himself. And now Vic owes like $250,000 to the people he sued. That is the reward that Rekieta has given him. And what does Rekieta think of that? I don't know. I'm sure that he might feel a little remorseful about that, but like, he doesn't seem too willing to talk about it anymore. You know? He is a fraud. He presented himself as came from the streets and got a law degree family man, but all along he was always a wealthy, came from old money, and was a drug swinger. No, yeah, you are. You would be correct on that. That is essentially the case of it. I didn't know this until basically like last month, that he actually had money from his parents because one of his family members, I believe, might have been his dad, struck oil. So, Rekieta did come from money. And so, yeah, I would agree that does make him a fraud. Oh wow, four fossils and only one of them is acceptable. His mom? Okay. Classic rags to riches. If you look at old videos, no, yeah, if you look at the old Rekieta versus now, he legitimately looks like he's dying. Legitimately looks like he's dying. Sorry, chat. I'm finishing up a couple of these things in here, chat. And then I'm gonna put down the game so that we can read these. Read this court doc here. But no, it's just really depressing. A lot of it was drug induced, but it is no excuse. No, it is no excuse. Drugs are no excuse to really put aside all of the sadness that you see. Turkey Tom Doc went in on him and his deep family connections. Yes. Yes, it did. It did. No, trying to sell Timmy. No, Timmy. You're gonna buy my bones. I want you to have the bone here. There we go. Oh wow, 2 mammoth torsos. I guess there's a bunch of dead mammoths on this island. I feel bad for the kids. The kids are the ones that are the most burned by this. Here first, chat. Akko trying to sell Timmy. He really wanted... No, yeah, I fully believe that he tried to become another Dick Masterson. And he's failing horribly. As far as I know, Dick Masterson's never been arrested before. I don't know if that, like... Again, I know that Dick Masterson has been sued. But I don't think he's ever been arrested. Dick Masterson isn't even Dick Masterson? This is true. Dax Herrera, DaxiPad, Juju the Cow. It's all a facade. And I know he likes to pretend, but like... That's not him. What type of voice changer do I use? I use Go XLR. Sends his minions to get arrested for him? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Hello, Nook. I want a bigger house now. He's like, do you want a bigger home? Yes, I do. I do want a bigger home. About my home. Does Nook ever stop putting you into debt? Yes, eventually he does. Or stick with purple. I didn't know the Juju lore or anything until the casino talked about it. The mint stuff is crazy. Yeah, so when it comes to a lot of that, I knew a little bit, but the mint stuff really made me depressed. And again, it's always autistic people. It's always fucking autistic people that get roped into all this crazy internet shit. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's always autistic people. Why? I don't know. I don't get it. I use voice changer? I do. I do. It's almost like the autistic people are gullible? Yes. The only reason why I am not necessarily gullible is because I learned from watching other autistic people. Unironically, chat, if people ever ask me why I'm so smart with some of these things, because despite being autistic, it's literally just because I watched the Chris Chan documentary. I learned what not to do from another autistic person. I mean, I still fumble sometimes. I'm not going to say I'm like a perfect individual. But I would say that Chris Chan did a good job of inoculating me towards some bullshit on the internet.
Fair enough.
I left for 20 minutes to come back and it's to, I don't know why, but it's always autistic people. I mean, yeah, that's... It do be what it do be, you know. Okay.
Your mom do be.
I still like Akko? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Wolf, thank you for the 5. Quick question. I'm still in the story portion of the First Descendant, but I want to try the Descendant. Should I grind for them or continue the story? Do what you feel. Here's what I'll tell you. The story sucks ass. Nobody likes the story right now. We'll see how the season 1 story is. But I don't like the story. I would say that if you feel like it would make your journey easier, yeah, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Just go for it. By the way, in a couple days, Twitter might be cut off here in Brazil. Yes. I fully believe that it will get cut off. Not because I want it to, but because I believe that the dictatorship over in Brazil is going to cut it off because they don't like how Elon Musk is allowing the platform to be free. I saw some people trying to blame Elon Musk for this. It's just like, unironically, it's not his fault he allows people to say what they want. It is literally a tyrannical government that is deciding that they do not want him to have a platform where he can say what he wants, or that people can say what they want. And so because of that, Because of that, I would blame the guy that is saying that he's going to ban it. I do not think that this is Elon Musk's fault. So, yeah.
Hey, Akko.
Hmm.
Completely random side tangent, but somebody on the Merryweather replied, and apparently, what you call it? It's Persona song, right?
Yeah.
The words are, "I'm a shapeshifter at Poe's Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw." Every time I hear it, all I hear is, "I'm a shapeshifter."
Oh,
and then
yeah, I know.
the rest of it sounds like mumbling.
Yeah, it does. But reading those words, Merryweather, that is like, you can't plan that. By the way, you can't plan that kind of hilarity.
Yeah, hearing the lyrics now, it makes even less, because everybody uses that song when they're trying to have like an emotional moment. And now it's like, okay, the lyrics say that you're hiding your true intentions.
Maybe that's like it.
Probably not a good song to use.
No, I want to say that maybe that's just like a self-tell, self-report, you know?
Shapeshifter? Yes, chat. Okay, they're saying shapeshifter. I always like just thought it was like some nonsense song, because it sounds like they say chef chauffeur, and then the rest of it is just straight mumbling, and I can't understand a fucking word it's saying. Which isn't unprecedented, by the way, because Nier Automata, all the music is sung in chaos speak, so like...
Unironically, it's no real words.
No, it's real words.
Well...
They basically choose a different word for every word of the song from a different language.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I thought that they just weren't real words at all. Interesting.
No, a lot of the Nier Automata songs are completely like listed out, but just every word is different. In a different language. So every once in a while you can pick up... That's kind of the point to the music, because if you listen really close to it, occasionally, no matter what language you speak, you will hear a word that you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because occasionally your language comes up.
Interesting.
It's supposed, like, the thought process is it activates something sort of in your brain, because you sort of hear it.
The Autonomous soundtrack made use of a made-up language? That's what I thought.
No, it's not a made-up language. It literally is just they use words from every language in the world. They call the language, or they call the music itself chaos speak, because the point is you're never supposed to fully understand it.
Chaos language. What does Mizu activate in the brain? I don't know. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're gonna get to the arcade stuff. It's kind of been back and forth, but we're gonna get to it. Temp, I'm not gonna show that at the moment. Remind me and I'll show it at the end. We're gonna get to the arcade stuff, because I want to go through it. Yeah, we're not gonna go through the entire document. We're gonna go through... I'm gonna read the TLDR from the person on the forum, and then we're gonna read as much of the document as I can.
Side note, because somebody mentioned it, yeah, I forgot that there was a article by a Kotaku writer that said that the Nier Automata soundtrack was bigoted because they thought they heard them say retarded at one point.
That is funny.
Did you ever see that article?
No, I did not.
They were super pissed. They're like, how could... I think they did that for both Nier, and they made another one for Persona. Because they said one of the Persona songs sounded like they said retard.
No, it was Persona 5. I want to say I remember the Persona 5 one, but... Okay.
Kotaku UK, we checked with Atlas, who confirmed they don't say retard. They replied to Kotaku. Oh, of course it was Laura Kate Dale that made it.
Was Laura Kate Dale that one?
Laura Kate Dale is a pretty shitty one. But yeah, she's the one that made the article. I think the article is deleted now.
It's possible. I'm trying to
Oh yeah,
find.
that article made her quit Twitter.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Laura Kate Dale is the person that basically ruined Total Biscuit and Jesse Cox.
Really?
Chat can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm 90% sure I'm right. Yeah, I got 2 yeses already. I'm convinced I'm right now.
Okay. Fair enough.
So Laura Kate Dale was close friends with both Total Biscuit and Jesse Cox, and as soon as she got involved with them, they like nosedived into acting like idiots online. Which is why I can't just blame the cancer for Total Biscuit acting like an idiot.
Fair enough.
Though it probably affected him.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna move. That is funny. Let's move on to the document here. Let's see. I'm gonna read the TLDR of this, and then I will actually just bring up the doc on page. The individual says, state brief is up, edit to add images, edit, oh man, and then he has this TLDR. The defense argues that the clip on the PowerPoint was manipulated, but as you can see from the full video stream, the clip is taken directly from the video at approximately 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 40 seconds of the video. The only editing is to cut the short clip from the entire video. The other brand on the clip may have been from the application used to make the clip. The full video shows that it is entirely from the defendant's channel. There are no other labels or markings to indicate that the video is not authentic. Detective Pomplin, informed the issuing magistrate that the video is no longer publicly available, but he was able to view the entire video stream. The entire video is consistent with the statement made by M. Holte. Detective Pomplin used his own training as a drug recognition expert to describe the defendant's behavior and how that is consistent with the use of a controlled substance. Detective Pomplin did not misrepresent the information. He viewed the entire video. This was disclosed to the defendant. The defendant had the video for over a month prior to the omnibus hearing. Instead of being candid with the court, the defendant implied that the video was disclosed to them. The defendant implied that the only video that was disclosed to them was the short clip. This had the appearance of intentional misrepresentation of the court of what information was being disclosed. So the defendant is Ricada, by the way. Just figured I would mention. So, here's the document here. Like I said, we will read and go through as much of this as I feel like I want to, because court documents are very boring and very dumb, because they are not made for a normal person to read. They are made for lawyers to read and for you to be confused by. So this is the state of Minnesota, county of Candy, Ohio, district court, 8th judicial. This is state of Minnesota, which is the plaintiff, to Nicholas Robert Ricada and his attorney. There are 2 issues before the court. First, whether the defendant has made a sufficient showing to warrant a Franks hearing. Very quickly, a Franks hearing, this is something that Null talked about on his podcast, but a Franks hearing is basically where they wish to meet and discuss whether or not the warrant was valid. If they can prove that the warrant wasn't valid, they basically drop the entire case, and all of the charges put against Ricada are dropped, because all of the charges that came against Ricada came because of the warrant search that occurred. And if they can prove that it wasn't valid, then none of the other charges can stick, basically. If I am wrong by this anyway, by the shit, I dropped my phone again. If I'm wrong at all by this, chat, you're free to correct me. If there's any
I forget
lawyers.
the exact verbiage they use for it, but it's like the fruit from the rotten tree or something.
Yes, pretty much. Sir, quote,
Fruit
sir.
from the poisonous tree.
Yes, sir. I swear all that cocaine teleported into my house.
Once the tree is
Discussion.
poisoned, the primary evidence is illegally obtained. The fruit of the tree and any secondary evidence is likewise tainted and may also not be used. Supreme Court doctrine.
That's funny. Breaking, Asmongold replies, just let me know. The more I'm willing to provide more photos for reference. to Power Wash Simulator on their retweet of a joke saying that they would make Asmongold's room a level. If they made Asmongold's room a level, I will tell you right now, that is the only time his room will get clean. Is when they put it into Power Wash.
Saying that Asmongold's room was the newest Power Wash level, and the Power Wash people replied and said, "I don't think we have the equipment to handle that."
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. No, put his room in there. That's the only time it'll get cleaned. Oh, everybody in Mythic would play that game just because of how funny it would be. Alright, so, moving on here. Discussion. So I think this is probably the most important part of this here, chat. This is the part that everybody here is going to want to pay attention to. The defendant is not entitled to a Frank's hearing and cannot go beyond the four corners of the search warrant in a probable cause challenge. So, again, Ricada was trying to get this entire thing dismissed because he wished to argue that he believed that due to how the Officer Pomplin, obtained the footage for his warrant, the search warrant, he wished to argue that it was manipulated and that it was not good footage, and so because of that, Officer Pomplin did not have a good reason to perform the search warrant, and the entire thing would be null and void. This right here is saying that that does not matter and that they are not going to grant him a Frank's hearing. That's
not actually that weird. That's the first thing you argue in every case.
No, I mean, fair. But it's just kind of nice to see very straight out this right here saying, we are not going to give you what you want because we don't believe that you deserve it. What is this? Is this Nick? Yes, this is Nick Ricada. So, this entire document pretty much goes through this. There's 2 points that they go through here. We'll briefly read this one as well. So that was point 1. Point 2, the seizure of the firearms was lawful under the plain view exception to the warrant requirement. I'm assuming that means that they took some of his firearms away because of the warrant. I didn't actually know that. That's interesting. The United States and Minnesota constitutions provide that no warrant shall issue without a showing of probable cause. U.S. Constitution Amendment 4? Yes, sorry. I'm tired, so I'm starting to lose the ability to read Roman numerals. U.S. Constitutional Amendment 4, Minnesota Constitutional Article 1 and 10 to determine whether the issuing judge has a substantial basis for finding probable cause. We took the totality of circumstances. The task of issuing judge is simply to make a practical common sense decision whether, given all the circumstances set forth in the affidavit before him, including the veracity and basis of knowledge of persons supplying hearsay information, there is a fair probability that the contraband or evidence of a crime will be found in a particular place. So my understanding of what they're saying here is that they granted the warrant because the officer that asked for it did have sufficient evidence, in their opinion, to grant the warrant for search. That is how I understand that. Again, chat, I ain't no lawyer. Don't take what I say as law. I'm reading this and giving my interpretation. Legal mindset probably is better at that. In reviewing the sufficiency of the search warrant affidavit under the totality of circumstances test, courts must be careful not to review each component of the affidavit in isolation. A collection of pieces of information that would not be substantial alone can combine to create sufficient probable cause. Furthermore, the resolution of doubtful or marginal cases should be largely determined by the preference to be accorded warrants. Generally, in determining whether the probable cause exists, both the district court and reviewing court may consider only the information in the application for the search warrant. But if a defendant challenges the accuracy of material facts in facially valid search warrant, the district court is permitted to look beyond the four corners of the warrant application. Probable cause equals arrest, or probable cause equals warrant equals find contraband equals arrest. Yes. Where did I leave off here? Shoot. Let's see. To go beyond the four corners of the search warrant, the defendant must establish a substantial preliminary showing that 1. Affidavit contains a false material statement. 2. The affidavit made a false statement intentionally or with reckless regard to the truth. And 3. The false statement is necessary to support the finding of notable cause. So they are saying, in order for Rekieta to get this Frank's hearing, he has to establish a substantial amount of proof that he believes that the affidavit contains false material, that the affidavit made false statements intentionally or with reckless disregard of the truth, and 3, that the statement is necessary, the false statement is necessary to support the finding of probable cause. So, what they're basically saying here is he didn't do that. They're basically saying that what he tried to put forth wasn't good enough. The requirement of substantial preliminary showing is not easily met. To make this preliminary showing, the defendant must make an offer of proof in the form of a sworn affidavit of a witness. Frank's, which is the name of the meeting that they would have had, is limited to cases of perjurious or recklessly false statements or omissions made by an officer in support of a warrant. The rule does not apply to negligent misinterpretations or omissions. Here, no affidavit was offered by the defendant. Oh my gosh. They're saying that he had to submit something in order for this to be considered, and he did not do that. Oh my gosh. Nick, take the coke out of your head, man. Ah! Oh my gosh. Where did this man get this law degree? Holy shit. How did this man get, like,
Just
actually...
obscured by the coke.
You think so?
Definitely.
That's why hiring an attorney is recommended. They're familiar with court procedures. Yes. Yes. Is Nick defending himself? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he has a lawyer. I don't know if his request for a Frank's hearing was by his lawyer or himself. They mention his lawyer at the top here. Let's see here. His attorney, Francis H. White. Yeah, so this is his attorney right here. But I don't know who decided to ask for the Frank's hearing. If it was the attorney on behalf of Nick or Nick himself. At this rate, Nick will be the kind of lawyer to turn a speeding ticket into a death sentence. That's right, he does have unpaid speeding tickets, I think. When you cook the nep, thank you for the follow. I don't know if that's a reference to Hyperdimension Neptunia, but thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Holy crap. Where did I leave off here? Okay, here we go. No affidavit was offered by the defendant, no testimony offered by the defendant or any defense witnesses. The only challenge to the cert warrant comes from the defendant's omnibus motion alleging that misinformation or lack of information was provided by law enforcement on the search warrant affidavit. So they're saying that he didn't give them what they wanted, but what he did give them was an omnibus motion for this Frank's hearing saying that something happened. The defendant did submit some exhibits in support of their motion. However, the exhibits are incomplete and create a misleading picture of the evidence provided. This is essentially a fishing expedition by the defendant to go beyond the four corners of the warrant. That is a very sassy way of saying this. See, I did see some people on the forum say that the person writing this was very sassy towards Rekieta. I can see that already. I really love this. This is a fishing expedition by the defendant to go beyond the four corners of the warrant. I like that. That is great. I really like that. That's good. Chat, I have a headcanon that the people of Candy, Ohio County really hate Rekieta because of how much of a menace he has become. I can totally believe that they dislike him and that they're going to be snippy when they can get away with it. Just saying. This next sentence is even better. The defendant is attempting to get a Frank's hearing without making the requisite showing. The defendant argues that Candy County Health and Human Services screening out the initial child maltreatment report should have ended the inquiry for law enforcement. The search warrant was not based solely on the child maltreatment report. Further, the screening of the child reports is controlled by an entirely different set of statutes and standards than criminal offenses. Whether there is enough to investigate a child maltreatment report has no bearing on whether or not criminal activity may be occurring. Child maltreatment reports are cross-reported between law enforcement and child protection. This is a state mandate. Basically saying that, in my personal opinion, that he cannot say that they're both different. They're both part of the same, thing here. That they have to go hand in hand when certain situations apply. Once Detective Pomplin received the child maltreatment report, he began an investigation into whether or not there was criminal activity related to a controlled substance. The purpose of his inquiry is different and not controlled by child protection standards. Both agencies started the same information provided to the initial report. Applying their unique standard to that information, each agency proceeded differently. I'm sorry, chat. Can I zoom in more?
Akko, you have lots of fun. I'm a dip.
Alright. You have a good
Enjoy
night.
your Ricada talk.
Alright. You have a good night then.
Night, chat.
Night. Okay. We'll continue on here. Again, I'll read as much as I can. Say goodnight to Mizu, everybody. We appreciate him. We appreciate him.
I forgot, what are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing.
Are you wanting to join in with me and Lumi?
What are you guys doing?
We're watching that video.
Yeah, I'll do that. The Sappho one, right?
No, the Aspen Frost one.
Yeah. Oh, what? I listened to it already, but I'll listen to it again with you guys tomorrow. I can't wait to laugh.
So, fun fact: the Aspen Frost person who is defending Poppy when we did our Poppy coverage, somebody made a video about them, and there is a wild story in it. So we're gonna watch that tomorrow together.
All I'm gonna say, chat, is if someone has DID, I immediately don't trust them. Is your thing there? Am I getting raided right now? Hold on a moment.
Hi Raiders, bye Raiders.
Who's raid? Where's the raid message here? Why is it not showing? Hold on a moment. Let me fix the activity feed. The filter. Raids. There we go. Razor. No, wait, not Razor. Wait, why is it not showing? Who's raiding me right now? Oh, is it on? It's on Kick. That's probably why. It's a Kick raid. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I've never had a raid on Kick. At least I don't think so. Welcome. My name is MommaOcco. I'm a Babanuku. Look up what that means if you're curious. I am a VTuber. I like to yap. I like to talk about things. Here, I'm echoing. No, it's kind of like that. But welcome. My name is Mom. I'm a VTuber. I like to yap. I like to talk about 1, VTuber drama, 2, pop culture. But tonight we're talking about Nicholas Robert Ricada and the fact that he is a legal cuck and the fact that he is being denied his Frank's hearing. So if you are not into drama or talking about legal stuff, that is totally okay. I do not blame you. But that is the next however long I'm planning to talk about this. And if you are curious, yes, the audio is a little bad. Kind of happens when you're working with a audio mixer that does not unfortunately have up-to-date software. I need to fix it. I'm Dino. Thank you forever. All right. You have a good night. If that's you saying you're gonna go to bed, you have a good night. Akko is the most pleasant sea-based drama reporter. Oh, thank you. I'd like to say that all 3 of us on the podcast are, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, we'll continue reading as much as I can out of this. It's just, here, I'm gonna resize this really quickly. Give me one moment. Thought it was over? No, it is not over. Mizu just needs to go to bed because he's got work tomorrow, I believe. So. I'm sorry, I just decided to have an onion ring here. Just give me a moment. Side note, thank you everybody for being here today. I appreciate ya. You guys are all amazing. Did not want to interrupt one of just Mizu of buying an aneurysm would be raised too big of a red flag. I don't know what that is. That is a game. It is just a game, it looks like. Lolly game. I see. I see. I don't know. That's a question for Mizu. Ask him tomorrow. It's not lewd, just the mods? Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Give me one more moment. The kind of life you have to live when you have to chew slowly because of how your throat works, sadly. Okay. Is this like BioShock with Kid Pro Tag? The game? I have no idea. I have no idea. Am I too loud? No, I'm just fine. Perfect. Alright, let's continue. Applying their unique standards to that information, each agency proceeded differently. It's not relevant to the child maltreatment report was screened by KCHHS. Even if it was relevant, whether or not the child maltreatment report was screened out by an entirely different agency using a different standard has no bearing on the probable cause determination in the search warrant. Basically, they're saying that Rada can't use the child maltreatment report as a reason to get the warrant thrown out, because it was not even considered at the time. The report was the basis for the state of law enforcement's investigation. It was not the entire investigation. It is not the sole basis for the application of the search warrant. Even if the court were to strike the information about the child maltreatment report from the warrant application, there is still a probable cause for the search warrant based on Detective Pomplin's subsequent investigation. So right there, they are saying that children maltreatment was not even the big factor. I think Rada wanted to think it was, but it wasn't. Defendant also urges that Detective Pomplin intentionally misrepresented the relationship between the defendant and Aaron M. Holte. In the application for the warrant, Detective Pomplin knows that there was a pre-existing relationship between the defendant and M. Holte by referring to prior videos where they appeared together or M. Holte appeared from the defendant's home. Detective Pomplin included that, quote, there may have been recently a falling out between M. Holte and defendant. He indicated that Aaron M. Holte and April M. Holte had separated. Detective Pomplin informed the issuing magistrate that M. Holte and defendant were no longer on good terms. The, quote, full-throated threats that the defendant references in his memorandum all involve the idea that M. Holte knows information about the defendant that the defendant does not wish to be made public. This does not indicate something more than a falling out. The statements that the defendant cites as threats are not threats to physically or financially harm the defendant. They are statements about sharing information that the defendant does not want shared. Detective Pomplin's statement... Detective Pomplin's... Oh, I can't hear that echo. By the way, eventually I am gonna, like, take care of the echo. Part of the problem is, again, I'm in a room that I don't really have good insulation for, but I appreciate you guys if you stick it out, even though there is a bit of echo. Okay. A statement that the defendant cites as threats are not threats to physically or financially harm the defendant. They are statements about sharing information that the defendant does not want shared. Detective Poplin's statement that there may have been a falling out between M. Holte and the defendant is not material misrepresentation of the facts. The defendant may disagree with it, but it does not make it a lie. Excuse me. Statement indicates that there is no longer an ongoing relationship. A quote falling out indicates that the ending of a relationship was not on good terms. Even if the statements that the defendant cited in his memorandum were included in the probable cause portion of the affidavit, there is still probable cause. So I see what they're doing right here. They're taking every bit from Nick Rekieta's memorandum, and they are saying, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter. The reason why it matters is probably going to come at the very bottom. I still think it's funny that Nick was all for public trials, but the moment he's thrown onto the hot seat, he's trying his hardest to make it private. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It is indeed kind of crazy and sad. The statements cited by defendant indicate that M. Holte and the defendant a prior personal relationship that is no longer ongoing. It's the same information provided by Detective Pomplin. Detective Pomplin gave the issue magistrate additional information to judge the veracity of the statements made by M. Holte. Detective Pomplin notes that M. Holte has personally used controlled substances in the past. There are no direct statements by M. Holte that the defendant was using the controlled substances. Detective Pomplin pointed out that M. Holte insinuated, use by the defendant, but did not directly state that. M. Holte also talked about a video where the defendant appeared to be under the influence of controlled substance. The information provided by M. Holte is not the sole basis for the search warrant. M. Holte's video on May 22nd, 2024 refers to a video of the defendant produced on 5/21/2024. Wow. That was in May? Holy shit! May, June, July. It's been almost 5 months! 5 months after this happened! Oh my... Oh! Produced on 5/21/24, where the defendant appeared to be under the influence of a controlled substance, Detective Pomplin did not rely on this statement alone. Detective Pomplin watched the defendant's video for himself. Detective Pomplin had been trained as a drug recognition expert, where he received specialized training to identify the signs and symptoms when someone is under the influence of a controlled substance. Based on his review of the video, Detective Pomplin stated that the defendant was showing signs of being under the influence of a controlled substance. The defendant argues that Detective Pomplin did not watch the entire video that the defendant published on his social media on May 21st, 2024. In support of the connection, he submitted a PowerPoint that contains a clip from the video stream. The clip is less than a minute long and does not include any audio. This was a clip from the full video that Detective Pomplin created. It was disclosed to the defense on July 3rd. It was disclosed to the defense on July 3rd, 2024. The defense counsel downloaded it at 12:31 p.m. on July 3rd, 2024. What was also disclosed on July 3rd at the same time as the PowerPoint clip was the entire 4-hour and 4-minute long video from the defendant's channel with audio. This was downloaded by defense counsel on July 18th at 12:49 p.m. This full video has been uploaded to MNDES for the court's review and shared with the defendant. The defense argues that the clip on the PowerPoint was manipulated, but as you see from the full video stream, the clip is taken directly from the video approximately 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 40 seconds into the video. The only editing is to cut the short clip from the entire video. The other brand on the clip may have been from the application used to make the clip. The full video shows that it is entirely from the defendant's channel. There are no other labels or markings to indicate that the video is not authentic. Okay, I'm actually kind of curious here. Hold on a moment. Let's see if I can find this. There it is, from backwards internet. Okay, so it's 2 hours, 50 minutes in. Let me skip ahead to the moment here. Pause. We're gonna out that. Is this a cut paste disclaimer about a separate video from the first time they said all this? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Okay, so this is the video. Oops. Shit. Hold on. Accidentally just made a whole bunch of tabs disappear. There we go. So this is the video in question. 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 40 seconds into the video. And we're gonna turn that on.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And you're gonna mute that. Turn that up.
So much urine. So much urine. That's what you have to learn.
Oh! Oh my gosh. You can very easily see it, chat. Can I, like... Here, maybe I have to go to the... Look, you can see it on the video. Oh. That rosacea ain't helping him out here, isn't it? Oh. It's right there, Nick. How could you not wipe that off? Look at it. It's like there are multiple angles of it too. This is what they used, okay? This is what they used to show the bases that they believed that he was doing cocaine. Cocaine. Oh, he got half a line on his nose. Yeah. Couldn't even get the mistress to wipe it off. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It looks like a tweak. He does. Let's see. Detective Pomplin did not misrepresent the information. He viewed the entire video. This was disclosed to the defendant. The defendant had this video for over a month prior to the omnibus hearing. Instead of being candid with the court, the defendant implied that the only video that was disclosed to them was the short clip. This has the appearance of an intentional misrepresentation to the court of what information has been disclosed. Additionally, Detective Pomplin reviewed videos from the defendant's channel going back several months between January of 2024 and May of 2024. Detective Pomplin notes the defendant's changes in appearance include that he has lost weight, appears tired, and overall appears strung out. It's a lot of nose to clean. Very true. All of these are common with controlled substance use users per Detective Pomplin's specialized training as a drug recognition expert and his expertise as a police officer. The detective has failed to make the requisite high showing that the affidavit Detective Pomplin is intentionally... The defendant, has failed to make the requisite high showing that the affidavit Detective Pomplin intentionally made a false statement or reckless disregard for the truth. Therefore, the defendant is not entitled to a Frank's hearing. Any challenge to the search warrant is limited to the four corners of the document. The state requests additional briefing schedule if the defendant is raising a general probable cause challenge to the search warrant. So, what they are saying is, what you said doesn't work. It doesn't work. we're gonna not give you the Frank's hearing. That makes sense? Sorry, I'm turning myself down a little bit, but like, that's gonna help out with the echo, I think, because the more higher I am, the more that the mic is just gonna start listening to everything in the room. Because I turn it all the way up, you're gonna hear every little bit in this room. That's really all I wanted to read. This last part here. Well, actually, we'll read the conclusion here, but this second part here, seizure of firearms, I really don't care about that. I care more about the first part. If you want to read this, I will, it, again, is posted in my Discord server, which you should join if you want to read some of this. But I'm going to skip this second part here, and we're just going to read the conclusion here. Conclusion. The defendant's motion should be denied in their entirety. The defendant failed to make the requisite high showing that Detective Pomplin made any material misrepresentations or omissions in the application for a search warrant. The defendant argument relies heavily on their assertion that Detective Pomplin did not view the entire video of the defendant's reference in the search warrant application. This argument completely overlooks the fact that the entire video was disclosed to the defendant at the same time as the video clip his argument hinges on. The information provided by Detective Pomplin was accurate and no material misrepresentations or omissions were made. The seizure of firearms is legal under the plain view exception to the warrant requirement. Law enforcement was legally authorized to be in defendant's home pursuant to the search warrant. While searching the home, firearms were located. The firearms were immediately recognized as evidence of a crime, as users of controlled substance abusers of controlled substances, are prohibited from possessing firearms. As their evidentiary value was immediately recognized, the seizure is permitted under plain view. So they're saying is, we took your guns because your guns are not allowed to be used if you're a substance user. I am assuming that in this second question here, Ricada was trying to allege that they illegally took his firearms. No, sir. You're not allowed to use your guns if you are committing a crime, and that crime is controlled substance abuse. Okay? Okay? Okay. Good. I'm glad that we understand here. Alright? Alright. Cool. So that's the Ricada document. That's the Ricada document. I definitely can see a lot of sass coming from these people trying to just say, shut up, bro. The seizure of firearms is only because they're present. Yes. Yes. That's an important note, chat. If his guns were locked up and put away, they would not have seized the guns. Because his spent shotgun shells were out in open, they had enough probable reason to take his firearms too. So, there we go, chat. He will not get his Frank's hearing, which means that this thing will not be dismissed outright. Oh well. Oh well. I want to see that body cam footage, though. You know? This is where it's more ambiguous. He isn't found guilty of substance abuse yet. It was in the search of substance abuse that they found the gun, so this is way more nebulous. True. True. Even if they were locked up, possession of them in combination with illegal drugs is also illegal. Okay. Fair. I mean, like, that makes sense. That makes sense. You're not supposed to have drugs anyway, so that makes sense. You know? So fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. Anyway, that's pretty much it for tonight, chat. I've done everything I really wanted to. I've said and done everything I've wanted to. Is Lumi still streaming? Is Lumi still streaming? Let me see. Is she still doing her thing? She is! Is she? Yes! She is. Awesome. We're gonna raid to Lumi. We're gonna raid into Lumi. If you, well, only on YouTube. On Twitch, she's not streaming because YouTube only stream. So, give me a moment. If you were on Twitch, who's live right now? I'll give you to Mari. Mari! Based Fish Girl. You go over to her. She's streaming with Pippa and Tenma. Very based. If you're on YouTube, you're going to go to Lumi. Again, it is a member-only stream, so if you would like to continue watching once I send you over there, become a member. I think it's worth it, so go give her your love and support. And then I'll be back tomorrow with the other two, and we'll be reacting to some crazy DID people. You guys have a good night. Bye.